Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures a little change to slightly higher once again this morning. We had a whole bunch of earnings to get through so far this morning. Some big name earnings reports as well, pushing markets in both directions once again, as we saw yesterday. Some positive momentum coming from some vaccine news as well that we'll get to. A number of vaccine related names in play once again this morning. Markets looking for their fourth straight day of gains in the U.S. We also have all eyes continue to focus on Washington. Some negotiations still going on between Democrats and the White House when it comes to potential of further COVID-19 aid coming to the U.S. So we will let you know if any of that happens throughout the day today. Sorrento Therapeutics and Novavax among those moving in the pre-market this morning. We had earnings from Twilio, Square, Disney, as I mentioned, Beyond Meat, Wayfair, just to name a few. Tons to get through this morning. A little bit of economic data that came out to the downside this morning. The ADP employment number was a huge miss. 167,000 jobs created versus an expected 1.2 million. So that was a big time miss in the wrong direction. So we'll talk about that coming up as well. Going to be a busy one. It is Wednesday, August 5th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at APAC region markets from the overnight session. You can see Hong Kong and Shanghai both to the upside. Everything else a little change. Korea, though, a nice day, 1.4%. Let's go over to Europe and see how things are shaping up so far throughout the European landscape. Mostly higher for these markets right across the board. We'll shift over to North America as well and see how futures are looking. Yeah, as I mentioned, back in positive territory once again. Look at the NASDAQ, though. The past couple of days, we've had tech stocks leading the market higher today. Little change for NASDAQ futures. TSX 0.35%. Brazil's open trading up a full percent already. Look at Bitcoin up 3% today. Crude oil also up 3%. We have gold back in positive territory as well. We have a number of blockchain names on the watch list this morning, guys. If you're joining us for the first time, subscribe to the watch list so you can follow along between 9 and 9:30. We go over all the names that are moving in the pre-market. We get that out to you before 9 o'clock. Neil is back. He has been gone for a couple of days camping, so we are back at full strength. Thanks again to Arun for sitting in for Neil the past couple of days. Good to have you back. Neil, how was camping?
Yeah, first of all, shout out to my main man Arun, and it was fun. It was very, very wet. Where I was just a little bit north of city of Toronto, and got record rainfall on Sunday. But my daughter fell asleep really quickly because you get that ambient sound. We toughed it out, but we were camping in my in-laws' property, so we could go in the house during the day if we needed to. We did sleep out there in the rain. It is what it is. It was a lot of fun. It's definitely a recharge. Glad to be back in the markets. But Sean, what in the heck is going on? The president wants a cut of a deal that they don't have any ownership of. What?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. He's brokering the TikTok deals. So just like in his real estate days, trying to get a little bit of a piece for the Treasury. So we'll wait to see if that happens. Look, I mean, he might. The idea is not too far-fetched. I mean, he is making them sell TikTok ByteDance over there, or else it'll be banned. So it's kind of like forcing their hand. But yeah, unprecedented times, obviously. It's going to continue today. We'll trade some Microsoft, but there's a lot more names that are excited. And yeah, welcome back. And you're right, Arun filled in great. A lot of positivity from Arun. And we're going to have a big announcement actually to make in the next little while. Not about Arun, but about our memberships, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Big announcement a few minutes here, guys. We have a lot to talk about so far this morning. A lot of earnings reports. Let's get things rolling here. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, though, let's head over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning and hello everyone. I wish you a great trading day, and we are here only to make it even better. Please sign up to our daily free watch list at the link I'm sending on the chat, and subscribe to this channel to receive notifications when we are back on air. And guys, please support and smash the like button. Let's get it started, and back to Brandon.
Absolutely, guys. Sign up for the watch list. We go over everything moving around in the pre-market between 9 and 9:30 Eastern every single morning. Join us at 9 o'clock so you can be prepared as well as we head into the session. Let's have a look at what is coming up. A little bit later on this morning, we'll talk about the top 5 mistakes that traders make, specifically to new traders just starting out and how you can avoid them. So we'll give you a whole bunch of ways you can limit mistakes. We are human, right? So we're going to make mistakes, but the key is to limit them. Let's jump into how things looked here at Day Trade the World yesterday as far as the top 10 traders are concerned. Big day here once again for traders at Day Trade the World. You can see 5 figures coming out of mostly Europe once again. Good to see Europe back at the top of the list, 20,000 there. NASDAQ only pulling 14,000 there. Amex and NASDAQ 12,000 and so on and so forth. Look at Russia there, 9,000 with Eurex, Switzerland, Turkey, and Vienna as well. So another great day for top 10 traders here at Day Trade the World. Where do we want to start here, guys? Why don't we...
with Microsoft, actually.
Sure,
Brendan.
go ahead.
Yeah, I just took a long right now. Microsoft looks like just came through here. Microsoft and ByteDance. It's funny, we were just talking about TikTok here, Neil. Microsoft and ByteDance now looks like this will be done within the next 3 weeks. So Microsoft wins, it looks like wins the prized TikTok possession. I don't know much about TikTok. Neil and I did a few TikTok posts for Trader TV Live before, but I take along through 215, 80 cents in the money right now. Let's take it off and then see what they want with this news. But right now, it looks like a big trade here for Microsoft.
Moving already to the upside. Just going to look for some sort of confirmation there. I'll keep reading through some of those.
CNBC, Brendan, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll move on then. We'll post that up as soon as we get that confirmation. Guys, why don't we go to Wayfair? Wayfair reporting earnings, big mover, obviously. It was a little bit of active trade in the aftermarket yesterday and then again this morning. So earnings for Wayfair, guys, obviously has been a super strong stock since March.
Yeah, Wayfair got just what I need here. And look, you can talk about the post-market action. You're going to see the ridiculous sort of wicks up to the down, up and down here. And you're seeing it basically in the middle of that entire range, which usually is pretty boring. But I'm looking at this 290 area here from about 290 to 292, this little chop zone at the close yesterday's session. That could be that little resistance point that if it has trouble getting through, could be a bit of a rollover for Wayfair. The daily is going to show you a nice picture of what you mentioned, Brendan. Been a big time runner. It's had multiple breakouts, since this entire thing started over in March. The latest one coming through just last week with a 240 break, or 225 to 240 area break to the upside. I'm watching that 92 area, see if we can't roll over through there on Wayfair. The Microsoft news is the big one right there, and sort of Sean, you jumped into a nice little breakout trade. I just want to very, very quickly say I wanted to look at any kind of a retracement back into some of the pre-market levels we like. 214, 20 to 30. Looks like it could be a nice little resting zone, potentially off the open if we do come back.
Yeah, and we just took that and we just tweeted that out. We also, if you want, you can follow all of us on Twitter right here. I said big time move here and we got it. Microsoft and ByteDance, it's right here, endeavoring to come to an agreement in 3 weeks. So we go 215 long, out 215, 72-ish, I believe exactly on board. So a nice little trade there. Yeah, Wayfair, guys, it's unbelievable, this stock. At 286 right now. I'm not even sure, Neil, I was busy tweeting that out, but this got as low as $20 back in March. So I can't find a bigger COVID winner. I guess there's going to be some vaccine names like Novavax, which we're going to get to soon. But this is 11, 12, like 13 times right now its bottom. So that's not a bad return there for Wayfair. So I wouldn't be surprised, as you see here, some people taking some money off the board.
And remember, guys, worth mentioning as well, we talked about it yesterday. Trump said 45 days. So that, of course, would fall within that window. He was giving whoever it was going to be 45 days. So good news. Hopefully we'll get that confirmed and everything will be tied up as far as TikTok is concerned. Let's go to Novavax, guys. Big mover both in the aftermarket yesterday as well and this morning. Huge reversal down in the aftermarket yesterday. Huge move up this morning for the drug maker after positive initial results for their potential COVID-19 vaccine. Were out aftermarket yesterday, guys. So NVAX here, huge move this morning.
Yeah, we did a video on pre- and post-market trading, and I feel like this would have been a fantastic example here, NVAX, of the dangers of doing trading in the post-market. I think certainly when the data came through and there was some confusion as to the side effects, the severity of them, with the vaccine, you see it trade. I mean, this is a little bit insane, down to $100. It's now double that price, or at least close to it, with a 190 push to the upside. I've usually been, sort of guilty of always coming in and fading positive news when it comes to these names. I think it'll be the same thing. Top at 198.75, call it 200. Rolls below that, we're $10 away, so the first level I would test would be 195 rather than that 198.75 top. If you catch any kind of a spike into this range, look to sell that news, the positive news here. But you can probably throw out all of that post-market action because of the confusion, I think, that was surrounding that release initially.
Yeah, unbelievable that it went down to 110 yesterday in the post market there. And like Neil said, join up our stock market wisdom page, and you'll be able to see everything that there is to know about, releases. So here you go, up down to 110. That's the confusing part that we're talking about. Straight upside. Then you come in today with 195, a couple price target increases. VWAPs right here at 190. I'm staying away from this one just for this exact reason. Up 90% here from bottom to top. Well, let's call it 80%. So a little bit too spicy for me without seeing the price action of the open market.
All right, guys, we were talking about Take-Two Interactive yesterday, earnings report, big mover yesterday. Activision Blizzard out this morning with their aftermarket yesterday with earnings. Of course, they make Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, Overwatch, and Candy Crush. Those are their biggest franchises. Earnings were off the charts on the good side, similar to Take-Two. However, the difference here, Activision Blizzard warned of further potential negative impact from COVID-related, I guess, unknown at this point as far as heading forward. So a little bit of caution from Activision Blizzard, where Take-Two said everything's great and rest of the year is going to be better than expected as well. So a little bit muted response here for ATVI this morning.
Yeah, I mean, look, we talk about missing trading and sometimes missed opportunities. I just watched ATVI and I looked at this chart and said to myself, some nice areas yesterday at 86.50. A couple of times, whether you're looking at it in the afternoon or whether you're looking at it in the morning, we're going to open below that price. It's still going to be a pivot point for me to the upside. So anything in front of that 86.50, I'll be selling certainly. And I'm watching yesterday's bottom at 84 even for potential breakout there, guys. So Activision, it is what it is. I'm not usually very heavily trading in this name, and it's only done 100,000 in volume, but I suppose today is the day that we might dip our toes into it.
Okay, I just want to give everyone an update. We are working on the stream here. There's a lot of connection drops, so we are working on that, guys. Stay patient if you're with us. Thank you. But we are going to work on that. We have a team here behind us trying to get that figured out. But yeah, ATVI right now, guys. I mean, Neil just, again, it's all about video gaming. It's all about staying at home. A lot of big games coming for them. So we're going to see what ATVI does off the top here. Yesterday, 10.15 bottom was made around 10.15 yesterday at $84. So look for that to break again here, guys, on what appears to be a bad report, down 2.5%. But again, this stock is pretty heated. So watch out for an 84 break downside.
Looks like the problems we're having, guys, might be on the mobile side of things. So if you can at all, jump onto a wired connection, and it might be a little bit better off. But a mobile app might be the issue right now for streaming. Looks like anyone on a computer is not having any problems. So hopefully we can get that figured out on YouTube side of things. Disney, guys, reported a surprise quarterly profit. The only downside came from their parks, obviously, parks operations, but the positive came from the streaming app. 3.97 billion. Up 2% as far as revenue is concerned from streaming. 57.5 million subscribers at the end of the quarter, guys, for Disney Plus.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they knocked it out. We'll give a big punch out here for Disney. Was not expecting this kind of a quarter. Was reading a lot of negativity heading into the quarter with good reason, guys. I mean, here, it's going to close this. That's our top traders page. The reason why is that the parks, obviously, not doing well. We see a huge drop in that, as expected. They kind of meet all their targets, but 100 million subscribers now for Disney Plus. The ARPU is bad. They don't even make money on Disney Plus, but they do have those users. And then they're going DTC. So if anybody knows what that stands for, they're going direct to consumer here with your streaming of Mulan. So they're going to go $30. I think that price comes down. That seems a little bit high. I think that probably comes down, but they're trying to do Mulan at $30 September 4th. So I think that's what we had talked about on the show, Neil and I, for sure. I know Neil's a big movie buff, but they can now stream these into 100 million households. So
take my money.
Yeah, exactly. With you have kids, you have some. Mulan for me is not going to be a big one, but like imagine this was Frozen 2, or I don't know if they're doing new Star Wars. Neil would know more about that. But as they release some of these blockbuster movies, if they can get that for sitting at home and simply streaming where the infrastructure is already there, where they're basically take 100% of the profit, I think that's an interesting thing. In my opinion, they should have done it with Hamilton. I didn't see Hamilton either, but this is a good note for Disney here. I like it breaking highs, but we got to see if the market does. Before I throw to you, Neil, I just want to see if it's on the board here. Yeah, it is 250,000 shares to buy on market on open. So right here, 250. So a good little look there. Maybe the market will agree with us.
Yeah, we'll get to the score in a second. You see on that board, they're on with you. They actually don't think that's a bad price at 30. It might come down, but people are going to pay it. I think that's the reality, and you're definitely right. They should have done this a lot earlier, but we're up 6% anyways in Disney here. I'm looking at 125.77 is the actual top. So watch for the 126 break. 124 teetering around this little bottom. No levels to the downside that you're going to care too much about here. But worth noting, if we break through this high of the day, you want to look at 128. That's a big resistance level towards that upside. So it is possible we get a top end break and run into resistance a couple of dollars from here on Disney.
All right, guys, let's go to Beyond Meat, the next one that reported earnings after market yesterday. Overall, sales and revenue were higher. Sales in the U.S., retail sales in the U.S. that is tripled in their latest quarter to about 90 million. Revenue from international stores rose about 167% to 9.67 million. However, they did say that they spent way more than they expected in the quarter as well. So to the downside here, it's worth mentioning as well, this stock got a slew of ratings changes, mostly to the downside today, although there were a couple of upgrades that I saw in price target increases, but the majority of the changes that I saw were to the downside today.
Right. I do see, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. I was going to mention just one more time. I know we said we would drop it, guys. We got to be patient. We think it's a YouTube problem. So stay with us on that one. Thanks for the notes for sure. Look, Beyond Meat, obviously they're going to, it's funny because I think it's actually a decent report. Their retail, a lot of their direct to consumer sales working out. The problem is going to be restaurants as that number comes back down in. You're seeing Beyond Meat down here and it costing obviously acquisitions to get those customers are making its way up as well as more, costs going up around the world here. So here we go for Beyond Meat, down 7.6%. I like a break upside through this little top here of 134.25. That was just that little wick. It's actually probably better even at 134 even. I think we can get to that. However, the market doesn't like it, and it makes sense. You see the move it had up yesterday. Look, we're only back right now, even on an 8% move down. We're just back to where we opened up, right, 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago we opened up about 129. That's right where we're at right now. We just bounced off 129 again. So to me, that's a good bottom. If we break through 129, then look out below. You might get to 126, 127. So I like a 129 break downside and a 134.25 upside.
Yeah, I think the 129 break, if you go back to, of course, Monday's action, 127, bit of a double bottom there. So if you catch that break, I do like it. What I really love about the top end level here, and it's going to be a price range. It's more 134 to 134.40 or 50 or so, as you also have the session bottom from the morning in yesterday's action, in addition to this top here. So a couple of key points of significance to that price range. And I think for me, my first shot is going to be if it rolls into 134. Ideally tries to take the top end of that range and fails, that would be a short on the way back down, and then it has to take the top end of that band, 134.50 for me, to jump into the long. I don't want to get into it too early here. Beyond Meat, obviously, when you're exposed to a lot of the restaurants like they are, and there's some issues with reopening and the demand that's going to come in there, there could be some sort of tailwinds here that could last a little bit longer than I think expected. It was bought up into earnings, and I think now we're selling off, and we see the reasons why.
Okay, guys, just seeing another headline here for this TikTok news this morning. Looks like they have agreed to update some policies on misleading content to provide better clarity on what is and isn't allowed on TikTok. This is specifically related to the upcoming election this year in the U.S. So they've agreed to change some of their policies in relation to what is being posted and the ability to remove some things that shouldn't be on there in relation to the upcoming election. Let's talk about Nikola, they reported 16 cents per share loss for their latest quarter. That was bigger than a 13-cent per share loss that was expected. The company reported delays due to pandemic-related supply chain disruptions. They also said they are still on track for first on-road testing of vehicles starting early in 2021. But Nikola to the downside, although if you look at the daily chart, guys, it's really not that big of a move, I don't think.
No, I mean, we're back down to, I mean, I have a 3-minute chart up here, but we're still above where we were, again, 2 days ago. Yesterday, we opened up high on the expectations. We saw Nikola. I mean, we had this long the other day, 31.30 back on Friday when Neil was here, I guess. Or was this the other day? No, this was August 3rd. This was Monday when it ripped upside here, Nikola. We had that move, then we had a couple moves yesterday, and then today we're right back down. So we're only back to where we were Monday afternoon. So I like Nikola. I think we take out this top 34.22. Just as a note, I put it on my watch list. The pivot point for Nikola right now is 34.70s, 34.75. So if we can get back up to there, I do like it. A 1-minute chart will show you what sort of happened here today and obviously yesterday after that earnings report. $39, crash 35, crash again 33. Now we're trying to get that money back. But look, it's disappointing because they didn't give a specific date for anything. It's all about the fall. It's all about testing this fleet and yada, 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 as Seinfeld and Elaine keep saying. This is a yada, yada report. Let's just wait to see what they do. I do like taking out this bottom, like I said, 34.50, 34.70 long side on Nikola.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of said it. It looks just like almost very similar to the chart of Beyond Meat there, when you get a reversal right back into Monday's price action. There was one level, if we get down here, potentially on a sell-off through 32.50. I think that's an interesting break point for me. And then I'd be watching this area down here, 30.85. This was a bottom on Monday's price action. And then if you go into a Friday on the 31st, that was actually the top in the afternoon. So watch out for that level as well, 30.85. If we break this 32.50. That'd be the next level to the downside. I think if you're looking to be a shorter, we had to pay for short today on Nikola. Relatively cheap. I think it was actually a pretty solid deal. It was only a few cents a share.
All right, guys, let's go to Square, the next one that reported earnings as well. They reported transactions tripled in their latest quarter, benefiting from stay-at-home orders throughout the globe. A lot of people shopping online, obviously. The mobile payment processing company did report a loss, however, a quarterly loss that was in line with expectations, but 64% jump in Q2 revenue, and again, the transactions that tripled for SQ.
Yeah,
Square, yeah, I love Square. I was able, and it's actually kind of funny because I was able to pick some up here at the very bottom of Square. Square is one of my best trades, probably of all time. I was able to get long down at $35 on the daily chart, as hopefully it loads up here on the daily chart. I had a problem with my charts yesterday. Here it comes. And yeah, down at $35. What a great long that was down here in March. The payment processor just, I mean, I got out some at 50, then some at 80. But we're up here to 153. We've never been up here, man. This is a typical COVID play. We keep talking about these over and over every single day. PayPal was my call of the year as well. That's going to break $200 probably today. Square upside, great numbers, great everything, great reports. We're going to be going long on Square off the open. It's a huge gap up. They weren't even expected to report. I think they reported a day early, so caught a lot of traders off guard. I already wrote down that we'd go long through 153, but we're at 154 right now, so we got to up that target to a 154 break.
Yeah, updated. I'm going to do the same thing on the breakout trade in Square. Sometimes things get leaked and they're forced to come out early, and it's a good thing for them today, certainly. But watch out for 150 as a bit of a pullback area. I think if it's a dip to the downside right off of that open, sort of similar reversal of what we usually look at, where we get that bounce up and we're looking to fade it. I think maybe if we can catch a bit of a dip that bounces off of 150, that's another way to enter a trade, and then maybe catch a 150 stop, depending on where we're able to get in there. So a couple of ways you can get into this long Square trade, and we're glad they reported earnings. Got to get some positivity here to counter some of what you saw over there in Nikola and Beyond Meat.
A few more names to get through here, guys. We're getting on in time. We're going to get to Arun to have a look at the futures coming up here in a minute, but let's talk about Sorrento Therapeutics. It's worth mentioning, though, travel names are moving again. Some of the cruise lines to the upside, airlines also to the upside. We see this every time there's positive vaccine news. On days when there is positive vaccine news, some of these travel names start to go again. So have a look at some of the cruise lines today doing some volume in the pre-market. Sorrento, though, extending I think it's a 3-day rally. We're on day 4 now to the upside. They announced a few days back they were teaming up with Columbia University on a saliva-based antibody test that they've got licensed for distribution already. So SRNE, big one yesterday, Sean. This one back on the move again today.
Yeah, SRNE, yesterday we crushed this one. It was great. A couple good breakouts here yesterday, including breaking out here on the day's high. You had to wait for it in the pre-market. It broke at $11. You had to let that thing go a little bit. Then we just started taking out levels before pulling back. The thing is, this saliva test, like you said, is days old. Not sure why the move was 30% yesterday. Should have happened last week. So I think people just getting a little bit excited about SRNE. I mean, the top here is 15. Anybody that held it overnight, congratulations. You get another 9%. So that's 40% in 2 days. To me, that seems a little bit overdone. But look, a saliva test that can be done at home, they're talking about, that's huge. I mean, you don't have to have any nurses or social workers or anything come in to do that. You don't have to leave your house. So I think this is an absolutely fantastic product if it gets going. So let's look for Sorrento. But again, it may break this bottom, 1388. If it does that, then you do have a big gap to fill back to 12. You can even fill back to 1070 here. This isn't a Kodak. I mean, I think they actually have a real product here. So watch out for this. I would take a break through VWAP 1450, basically.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be real here, and this is definitely not a Kodak here. It doesn't mean that there is not an opportunity to fade through. Anytime you get a secondary move to the upside, it's worth noting there was some selling in the afternoon that got a little bit deep, and then the strength in that rally into the close. Like you said, it's older news, getting a late push, which makes me want to take at least one shot at fading it first through 1450. I think that's the first level I'd watch. I wouldn't short it here on a breakdown and give it all the way to 15. I think that's a little bit too much risk if you're doing that type of a play. So it's going to be in the sweet spot, 13 3/4, 1375 short break, or catch something right off the open if it can fade or fail through 1450. That's where I'd like to be able to short at Sorrento. It'll be one of the first ones on my list today in volume. 6 million it's done. I'll be trading it pretty heavily, I think, again today.
Speaking of Kodak, guys, back to the upside again this morning. Volume for the second day in a row to the downside in the pre-market, though, as we get further and further away from that announcement last week. But watch $16 on Kodak. Let's go to Arun. We'll have a look at the futures here and see what levels he has picked out for today. On the overall market, Arun, we're back in positive territory once again.
Yeah, we finally broke that 3,300 level I've been waiting for a while now. So as this market's going up, I put on the breakout, I've got the level that I'm going to work with, 3280 is the bottom end. And if we can continue putting in this new high here, if the high, I believe, is around 2175. So if we can continue, we're at 1450 now. After the open, if we can put the new high in, I'll actually move secondary level in there at 3210 and try to work along with that. But again, 3,300 is the major area. We've been working that for days now. So, if it comes back down there, it's not going to go through right away. So looking for a bid as it comes through 3,300, 3,280 on the back end. Of course, if it extends, I'm going to put 3,210 as a trailing level. And that's it for now, right? It's a pretty clear direction in this. So far, it looks like it's going to be a pretty clear direction, but this open is always different. It always changes after the open. So that's going to be the interesting test after the open on what this 3,300 does. I'm looking for some bids. If I can find them, I'm in. So 3,280 on the back end, 3,210 3,310 if it extends. That's back to you, Brendan.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow with Arun. We'll always have, it's good to have levels on the overall market to know where we should be trading above, where we should be trading below, obviously. I want to mention this one, Heat Biologics, back to the upside today. They updated one of their current projects that is ongoing. Positive update there, 5%. If you go to the daily chart, though, really not a lot going along here. If we get up to anywhere remotely close to 250, like this one to the downside. However, in this range, not a lot to do unless we get down to below 210, where it was supported yesterday. So 210 to the downside. Got to get up to 240 to 250, though, on a push higher maybe at the open, guys, for Heat.
Yeah, we just briefly mentioned Kodak there right before we went to Arun. Upside again, but watch out for a 16 area as it tries to bust through. Definitely going to be a top at 18 as well. I'm only ever usually looking to the short side on these. So watch for a $16 rollover. Going to have to pay for some shorts in that one as well. With about 90 seconds to go, we are locked and loaded, looking at a lot of names here. I think one of those that I want to jump quickly back to is going to be Novavax, NVAX. We talked about this one possibly coming back in and then looking for a retracement trade, sell the news type of idea. 180 on the bottom here. It just fell $5 to the downside in the last couple of seconds here. So already starting that rollover. I was looking to see if it would test the 195 for initial entry. Doesn't look like it's going to happen here. But Valeria, we got some big news, I think.
Hey guys, amazing news for our trading family. We just passed number of 500 members. Shout out to Joaquin's Trent, your member number 500. Fireworks, I wish you a great trading day and I feel like you will have an amazing day. Guys, please jump on the family also and join our membership. You can find join button on our homepage or at the link I'm sending on the chat. I'll see you later and congrats again trading family and Joachim.
All right.
Absolutely
Good
awesome.
little look there. Yeah, only 20 seconds to go here. 15 seconds to be exact as we go. We're going to look for Beyond Meat. We're going to look for Mara. We're looking for Nicola. We're looking for SRNE. There's the countdown. I hit it, so we're going to go now with 10, 9. We're only 6 seconds away now. Watch SRNE at 1450. There's Valeria doing everything she can to get over there and ring that bell, Valeria. We are open. So let's see what happens now to open up the day here. Should be a good one, guys. Watch SRNE through 1450. We're going to get long very, very soon, I think.
Yeah, it's immediately testing that first level. I want to see if it fails through that price. 15 is the absolute top there. You got to watch. Novavax holds 180 at least for the time being, but about to break any second to the downside on NVAX. I want to see it push to 185, 195 for a better short.
Yeah, okay, me too. Yeah, I'm looking for all these stocks right now. SRNE fades back through, so we got to wait for that one. It appears anyways. NVAX right now making that move. SRNE waiting. We're going to look at Square right here quickly. I'm not in anything right now. We're going to look to see what Square done. 152, so Square fading back in. This looks like a good one. Let's take this. If it does break back up, we're still on a 1-minute chart. Square, let's take it through 154 again, guys, I think. Oh, it's not even open yet on New York. Let's let this thing open up. Let's check out now.
Yeah, you want to make sure it's open. ATVI, Sorrento just broke. I just got triggered into it, but wanted to get to Activision as that just headed towards the upside as well. But SRNE with a bit of a fake out at 1450 there. So just tagged me in at 55. We'll see where it goes. Got a whole 14 even.
Yeah, same thing as me here, Neil. We're long the same thing here. There goes Square. Square finally opens up, and wow, does it ever open up? It opens up big time to the upside right now. Square making that move here up to 155, 156. We're still in SRNE, so we're long here. 1450 break. The break really should have been down here, 1440, but that's okay. We'll hold that. Now we got some downside of 1390-ish. Look out for SRNE downside 1390 is where we'll get out, but we are long that one right now, guys.
And of course, miss it on the way down. Trying to catch it on the way back up here is going to be that NVAX 180 break. It went all the way down to 176 before coming back in here. Going to start this retracement play a little bit late to this party on NVAX. Got 179.70s to the short side. And then, of course, that SRNE still hanging around the mid-14s, 1425, 14 to 30 range. Brendan, what do you got for us, buddy?
Watch Beyond Meat here, guys. Just approaching these pre-market levels here, 133 to the top side. Big time volume behind this move back up for Beyond, guys.
Yeah, 134. We talked about getting that long if we could. So we'll take it through 134, 134. What price did I write down? 134 and a quarter. So we're getting ready to go through that right now. Beyond Meat, big move upside. We gave you 129 as a bottom. There we go. So we go long Beyond Meat now, 134 and a quarter. Our actual price is 38. So let's keep going to the upside here. We'll take some off and then see what happens. But SRNE failing, Neil.
Yeah, it's absolutely failing. I don't like this one too as much as I did before, but it has to hold that 14. If 14 goes, that's going to be my kill spot. We'll get out of that trade. We're going to reload into some more NVAX.
Look at Beyond,
185 is the price that we like to fade in front of. So if it gets any higher, we're going to look for double tap that. But it looks like bye-bye SRNE. You know, we tried it. We originally actually liked the short opportunity there, but then tried to do the breakout trade. It did not work. It looks like it's headed southbound. Next stop, 1340 is the level I was looking at in the pre-market. If it bounces off there, it might give you a reload. NVAX is in the money, about $1 or so on that short. I tried to just reload in front of 185. Couldn't even get it. We just took $1.50 on that trade. So 1 win, 1 loss. We'll try to slay these dragons one by one here, but here comes NVAX.
Slaying Dragons, $4 in the money right now on Beyond Meat, up through 134. We gave this level to you on my watch list. I gave it to you 134.25 on the watch list, tweeted out earlier. We are long exactly that price. Well, 134.40 on the cross up. A big win. We're almost out of everything now. Beyond Meat, huge win. SRNE, huge fail. So 1 for 2 right now in this market. So let's just keep going to the upside now. SRNE, let's watch out. I gave you this bottom. Watch out for that. If we take it again, again, maybe it's upside, but SRNE right now in trouble. Beyond Meat flying, guys.
Yeah, just got a big time pullback on our NVAX. We're in the money about $3 on this little bottom here at 176, starting to come back in. I did want a test of this 184 to 185 area on a pullback, so I think we're going to take another shot at this. Any consolidation we get once it rolls over, I'm going to be looking to dip into a short on this NVAX one more time, just adding back into some of the shares that we took off. Brennan, what do you got?
Just popping up on a volume list here, guys. Remark Holdings. This one kind of came to life a little bit late in the day yesterday. They reported aftermarket earnings were decent for Remark Holdings. This one, if you remember, we were trading it on some news way back when, up around $3. But Remark Holdings doing some volume today, guys.
Okay,
and I want to get to Nikola here because Nikola just made a hard turn off of its low at 32.10. I'm looking. Look, you were talking about that breakout through the top. We're not quite there yet. I'll probably look for a fade in front of that high, 34.20, 420 coming out of the woodworks very, very early today. But I'm going to try a fade in here in front of 34 even before I roll into any kind of a breakout long in Nikola.
Okay, yeah, we're getting out of some of our Beyond Meat as it's coming right back to the downside right now. So Beyond Meat, we're almost out. We're basically flat on this stock anyways. But here it comes all the way back downside. We're in that 10% that we normally hold. Actually, it's 20% right now. So back into the losing spot. But watch out, though. We do have our target here on Beyond Meat, right, guys? Downside of 129. So let's hold this again. Maybe we'll give it another go here through 134.50. If it goes one more time, we'll try some Beyond Meat through 134.50 if that gives it one more shot. Otherwise, we'll be dumping this one off this open print of 132 and change, guys.
Yeah, big time move to the upside. You see us reload here in NVAX. It's trying to make a push right through to the opening. So almost open range. If you look at it right before the 10 minutes before the open, you're talking about that 185 into that 191. It's trying to roll over in this price area. On the way down is where I want to see if we can get some shares in and then use the top as an adjusted out. That's what I'm going to do here. Just went back below that 185. So this is where we try to pick some shares up, and then you're going to use this little high here at 187. It looks like it just put in. I still have shares of Nikola that we just got into, but NVAX right here trying to get this 185 rollover. It looks like I just missed it. Man, the spread 60, 70 cents at a time on this stock. So as I tried to catch it on the way back down, we did end up missing it, but I don't think the story is going to be done by a long shot on NVAX.
Watch out for Disney here going upside as well, 125 possible break on Disney. We liked 125 and a quarter on Disney, so that's making its move back to the upside. What's up, B?
XRT, another recent move here. They updated their current quarter to the upside pre-market. It looks like $10, decent level there, got taken out on huge volume. Big time move here, 23% for Vaxar volume as well, guys.
All right, yeah, we're just looking here. I got this order in for 125 break here on Disney, just making sure it's going to be the right one. We also do have Beyond Meat coming backside now. We'll get out about 134, and then we'll take 134.50 long once again if we can here on Beyond Meat. But that's the name we're looking at here. Square as well. Feel bad because we missed that one. That's a pre-market trade that we should have had, but we've had no luck in the pre-market. Square off to the races right now. I wrote down 153, and like I said, that did target in the pre. So we missed that. We got to wait for it to come back to VWAP. We'll try to bottom pick Square. Should be good for that, but we need to wait for it to come back through. I also do want to check out some NEO.
Sean, the roller coaster continues.
Yeah.
So first half of NVAX, big win. Second half, we take a bath. We just took the short on Nikola. We got a couple legs in this time. We're able to catch some in front of that 34 at 33.70. On the way back down, we hammer it again to the short side at 33.55 here, guys. So we did take some out in front of 33 even, catch a 70-cent win on the first lot. We'll see what we can do with the second bit. I still want to hold it in front of this opening range, 33.90 to 34. See if we can't load into some of these shorts. Worth noting, it just stalled shy of this pre-market or this opening range bottom, so might not give as big a win the second time through. Brennan, what do you got for us, buddy?
MTCH, they reported aftermarket as well. Nice look here from 112 in the pre-market all the way up to 122. So a nice push here for MTCH, up 12% now, also doing higher relative volume, guys.
And maybe Nikola will go down further than this, guy. So in the money, about 80 cents on the Nikola trade. It's been pretty mixed so far, jumping back into it. And because of you have this little range here, 32.50 all the way down to 32.10. You actually saw as a bit of a bottom. I'm going to take the second, third out of this trade for about an 80-cent winner here. And then we're going to see if we can't reload. If we get a reload in front of 34, we'll try that every single time. And then eventually, hopefully, get that big time flush through the low of the day on Nikola.
Yeah, we're waiting now for this trade as well. Disney right now, nice, beautiful trade. Long through 125, just scalping it out right now on the high side here. Took too many shares out right there. Disney out right now for a nice little win, 125 even. We'll see if we can hold the rest. Upside right now on DIS. There we go, baby. Yes, sir. It's a bang move right now, Disney. Nice move through 125. We're almost out of everything. We got out of way too much there at 30, but here we go. Upside 50 cent, 60 cent winner right now on Disney. 65 cent winner, yes. Nice little trade here on Disney. We brought this back to life right now. Go Disney! Hells to the yeah! Superman. Superman, is that a Disney property now, Neil? I don't even know, but Superman in the building. Disney upside.
I'm pretty sure no, they're in DC, and
right.
Yeah, that's not where the good movies are made. That's gonna be Marvel. But MARA, look, we're gonna be looking at this one. I was trying to see if it would roll over off the open. It did. Right here, 435 is gonna be a first level. But watch out, it tried to break 4 even, then held the second time through. That's gonna be a breakdown trade for me. If it breaks 4, I'm gonna take this one, a second shot. Otherwise, we're fading in front of 435, and that could be the new breakout price on MARA. Brendan.
We saw gold up 1.5% this morning, guys, above that 2,000 level once again. So KGC Kinross here just got a volume alert through $10. Big volume spike at the open there for Kinross Gold, guys.
Okay, Kinross, yeah, good little look there. Look at Disney, guys. $1 plus now in the money on Disney as it continues to run to the upside. So good little trade happening there on Disney. I think we'll probably just take it out right now for that $1.25 win. So that's a banger. We take out the stick and hit that. We gave you all of these trades, guys. Follow me on Twitter if you can. This watch list was early, guys. Disney, 125.25. That's a $1.50 win. Beyond Meat, we already talked about what that's done. Nikola, we got to wait for 35. Square, 153. Trader TV Sean, follow on Twitter. We got these winners for you guys.
Yeah, Nicola's still in the money, about 60 cents. We've taken 50, we've taken 70. Still going to hang on to that last little third in front of 33.90 to 34. Watching back in Sorrento here as it's trying to get back above this sort of 13.90 pre-market little range it had for the last half an hour going into the open. If it breaks down below, I'm going to be jumping into the short in front of that 14.25. I think it looks a little more likely that we'll be a short here. I just saw it bust, so we're now going to get 13.92 as a bit of an entry price on Sorrento. We're jumping into the short after trying and failing at the long position. I do think this one looks a little bit better in terms of the structure, only actually giving it to about that 14 quarter or so to the downside. So a couple of shorts on Sorrento and Nikola to the downside, both in the money right now.
Yeah, Go Gadget, Disney right now as well to the upside. I don't think what Go Gadget. What is that from again, Neil? That's oh man, the guy with everything electronic.
Well, Inspector Gadget.
Inspector
actually,
Gadget,
the new one's made by a Canadian company out west, which my brother.
Right, I knew. That's why I asked you. I knew you knew something about that. So Go Gadget there. Yeah, Disney right now up $2 now in the money. So a good little trade here for Disney as we go right now. But everything popping off right now, including Bitcoin going through the roof as well. I guess it's not really, but we're trading some GBTC here if you guys want. We're long right now at $14. We've actually lost money on this so far, but it could be breaking through 14 here. Watch out for that one. And there goes Disney, guys. Big trade, 125 long. What's up? What's up, B?
Wow, what a move on Disney there. Yeah, Macy's going as well, guys. Not seeing headlines on this one yet, but 3.6% to the upside on decent volume so far, guys.
Macy's on
yeah,
the move. I was just about to check in on Wayfair. Sorry, I know we had earnings on Wayfair, and it's very, very sleepy. I don't think this is going to be one we're going to be heavily trading. Look at this. It's a 3-4 cent range, sideways action. Downside, Sorrento just got some shares out there, so we can definitely celebrate that. We came from Brennan with the winner, so we got to give you the yee-haw action there. SRNE, after taking a first hit, we're going to start working these out in front of low of the day, and of course the opening range low, not the pre-market.
Yeah, we just took out some. We went short again here on Beyond Meat. So you can see right now we should be short 131.80. We just took some off there 40s. So losing on Beyond Meat, some of the long, but then reversing to the short side now 131.49. So we'll watch out if it retakes this level. 132 we'll get out, but Beyond Meat's been a big winner. And there goes Disney, $2 now, $1.27, $127 right now to the upside. Let's see if Disney, bang, there it goes. It takes that out. Big time hot dog on this one, $2. Guys.
Yeah, another win on SRNE, but I'm now watching Nikola start to come back into our target range for a re-entry. I'm short at 33.55. If it rolls over here, which it looks like it's just about to do, a little bit of a turn at 13.350. I thought maybe we get a better price than that. Unfortunately, you can see if you try to catch it on the way down as opposed to the way up, it is a little bit tricky. If I had stood in front of the sword, we would have gotten more shares. We do still have a position that's now again in the money, 50 cents, but I really wish I'd gotten that reload on Nikola. Going to be shorting that one as long as it's below 34. You will see me net short on that stock. I did want to get back to MARA. A lot of us were tracking this. Tried to bust through 4, just reversed on a pullback. I'm going to be shorting almost every single pop as we get into that sort of 435 range that you see. Double top, whether it's the opening range or this pre-market level here. Going to be shorting in MARA once we get some locates. Brennan, what do you got?
I noticed this one yesterday was kind of moving around a little bit late in the day, but yeah, Whiting Petroleum trying to come back to life here a little bit. Broke through $1 late in the day yesterday, so we're up to $1.45 here. Big time volume behind this move as well. 32% for WLL, guys.
I couldn't believe the move, and I had to take it off. So there's a $3 there. $2.70 win right there on Disney. So bang that one out. Disney, a nice little win there on the upside, taking 125s long. We did get too much out there at 125.50, but now up to 128. We take some out, and that's a big win. We will tweet that out as well for you traders. We made 2 big trades today, Beyond Meat and Disney, the 2 big ones for us today. Also Microsoft. Look at this, guys. This is where we do not get greedy. We take 215 long on that ByteDance TikTok story, out right away. Now it's coming fading back in. Maybe we take a long here. Beyond Meat, also the only position we have on right now as well. And that one looks to be fading back to the downside here. This is a nice 50-cent win for Beyond Meat right now.
Another stock that we, I don't think we got to here, ARPO, up 24%, but it was much, much higher. Actually, 230, I saw this stock trading in the pre-market. It just broke through the bottom at a 165 area break to the downside. So a bit of a pivot that got taken out to the downside. I am looking at this for a potential short in front of any of these levels. First 184 and then 175 as well. So if we get any kind of a pop in ARPO, we're going to jump into the short side trade. Reload in Nikola successful at 33.40. That's right at the money now. So finally did jump into some more shares of Nikola, but I also wanted to get very quickly over. I haven't traded yet in Beyond Meat. But look at this pre-market bottom here, 129, and then the opening range, 130. Now trying to hold 131. So this seems like a nice opportunity to maybe pick some shares up in front of a 131 low here, only risking $1 to see if it can't get back into VWAP.
Okay, we're also trying to get some long on Square now as well, as that falls back down a little bit. We missed that long in the 70s. We are going to try to get it. What's up, B?
Another earnings name, guys. Glue Mobile, little one, mobile provider in the U.S., 13.5% downside. Yeah, they reported aftermarket missed $9 here. Great opportunity. Wish I saw that. We're down to about 828.40 on GLUU, guys.
Glue Mobile, yeah, good little name there. We've traded that a couple times. We did miss the Square long, so we feel horrible about that one. But yeah, that comes all the way back down to 154. Good thing I mentioned it. Don't know if you guys were able to hit it or not, but Square, a nice little trade. We're out of our Beyond Meat there, so Beyond Meat, a big trade for us today. There's no doubt about that. And here goes Square, guys, again, looking at 156. Damn it, can't believe we missed that 157 or 154 bounce back down. Looking at too many things. Watch for a breakthrough 156, though. I still like that one, guys.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this MYOS, just going to get quickly an update on what's going on with this one. It's been in play, of course, before, as I have 2 shorts on, just Nikola, and of course we talked about getting into some SRNE. We do still have over half that position at 92, sort of teetering, giving you 20, 25 cent wins, not too much. But I'm watching this $2 area that I think is going to be interesting on MYOS on a retrace. It's up 76% still, but starting to come in rather heavily since 9:30.
Yep, okay, here goes 156 right now on Square. So we'll see about taking some longs. If it does break through 156, we'll give it a go there if that does happen. Right now, a few other names that we have on look. We've already got out of our Disney. Wow, what a bad out that was. Disney, 129.50. Man, did we have that one early and missed it. So what else are we looking at here? Mara, if there's anyone else that has any names, give it to us, especially if you're a member. We'll definitely have a look at that in the chat. $4.06. I have Mara taking out the top here. That does not happen, so we'll wait on that. I'm still waiting on Nikola. There was Disney today. We see Square. Let's check back in on PayPal quickly here. I said it would break through 200. Easy call because of the PayPal news, but here we go. And there goes Nikola. We take a big position now through $34. I know this is the key kill spot Neil was looking for. Let's hope that sort of we're both right, and this can start going to the upside right now, guys.
Yeah, this better have been the out on Nikola for me to reverse, and was 34. We had the shorts all the way. We're looking for that top. You know me, I'm I'm always going to be shorting in front of a key level if I get an opportunity, especially on a weak name. So we have reversed into the long trade. We'll see what happens here at the top. I got 14s as a price, so slipped a little bit. I had to cover a short first. You want to see first if it can hold back to that 33.50 area, but we're now long in nickel. I still have SRNE, however, to the short side at 92. That is worth watching. I didn't want to jump back out to that NYOS. Of course, they had positive earnings. I have no locate, so if it breaks two, you're not going to see me trigger into that short. Unfortunately, I can't go short on this one, but if it does give consolidation around that point, it might be a nice little bit of a long trade. But there goes nickel. That's where we covered at 34, and that's why we're talking about that level. First out in front of 34.50. The next will be in front of 35 even.
Yeah, I'd hope we can get that high. That's for damn sure. Nicola on the nice little move here. Upside, you got to get out with the volume. So here we go. Nicola, we're going to get out now. Breaking through 50. Big trade alert here on Nicola. What up, B?
Walmart, guys, to the downside. They came out yesterday after market. You can see big move down yesterday and said their answer to the Amazon streaming, the Disney streaming, their streaming platform will be delayed. So delaying the launch of that for Walmart. So down 2% here today, guys.
I saw that yesterday. That was bad news there for any Walmart holders, but good news if you're Nicola long like I am right now. Long at 34.10. We took out the big boys to hit this one, so a nice little trade here on Nicola. Again, guys, given to you guys fresh and early on the watch list, so I hope you're able to get this one. 34 was given out, and now we go alongside 34. Upside now, big move up. I'm waiting at 77 here. Bang! There it is, a nice little 70-cent win on Nicola. Neil, I know you have this as well.
Yeah, I just took some out in front of 35. Like I said, the only change we're going to make here is roll my stop over. I said before you're giving it to 33.50. Obviously, that's not going to be the case now. I'd watch for a break-even area. 34.25 seems reasonable to me. We'll try to roll into these last third and hang on for dear life for a 35 break. But 34.25 is going to be my stop to the downside. Not a trail. I just want to move my stop up.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, you know what? This is probably a good little spot to maybe think about getting some out. For me, anyways, I just took some out there at 70. The best price there, 77. We'll look to get a little bit more out as it looks like. I don't want to say it's failing up here because it's not. We've got to give this one some room as it keeps going. But there's another out there in the 60s. So Nicola, big banger today. The only mistake that we've fallen down on here is SRNE today. We did take too many shares at the top. We're trying to make that dream happen once again. Our only negative stock today, SRNE, guys.
Yeah, and just looking over here at Neo, that one positive on the session here, and a little bit more than that as well. So breakout through what would have been the afternoon high yesterday and the pre-market top at 13.70. Not a gigantic extension, but starting to get close to that $14 range on NIO. I was looking to short everything in this space except for maybe like Tesla or something today, but 14 even has to have some kind of consolidation at the top to sort of pique my interest. But there is a breakout happening a little bit in NIO worth monitoring, guys.
Yeah, watch out. Yesterday I lost my shirt and pants and everything in NIO. So we will go back to that at some point, and that point may not be today, though, guys. So we'll wait on that one. Nicola, still big move to the upside. We're out of 3/4 of our position. So like Neil, we do have aspirations of getting this name a little bit higher now through 35. I thought, like I said, I thought the report was bad. Don't get me wrong. However, you know, this stock could still run upside. It did have a nice bottom move there. We'll give it all the way back there to see what happens. 33.60 is where VWAP is, but a good trade, needless to say, here on Nicola, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to do a quick little reload here in SRNE. Of course, we're playing now off this 14.25 area. We did take a short initially below 14, caught some out on the way down to 65s. I'm going to get back in front of this same price a couple of times here. Actually, you know, let me actually might want to get some more shares in front of 14.25 there. But I'm not going to use this high just yet, that 14.50. It's going to be a 14.25 stop, and then we'll revisit that 14.50 if it does come a little bit later on. So SRNE, trying to make everything back that we took the hit on by not necessarily getting too good of an entry point through that little break. I do want to jump over quickly. I mentioned Tesla. Just sort of worth noting, it's basically flat here and slightly to the downside. Watch out for a 1500 break. It quite literally turned on a dime right at the open off of 1500. I think that's worth monitoring throughout the day. Brandon, what do you got?
One from yesterday, guys. Big mover yesterday. Microvision, MVIS, if you remember, they popped up to 260 yesterday. It's failed up here at $3. Tested it a couple of times. Just noticed this doing a lot of relative volume once again to the downside now for MVIS. They are exploring strategic alternatives, including possible sale of the company, guys.
All right, we're going to take out another little spot here on Nikola, which we do that. So a good trade on Nikola. We're getting out of that one. Disney, we can re-look at that. Big move in Disney today, guys. Very, very good. This is, I mean, I'm overloaded in my portfolio in this name. Not even really sure why, but Disney, nice move to the upside. We'll take that 9%. How often do you see Disney moving up that 9%? Square, we do also had, we did have a big miss there on this fall back. We were trying to get long there. We missed it at 154 and change. Should have had that one, but it's having some problems up here. Up 15% right now. Square, I do like it, but this is a name that I don't want to get long until we're back downside right now on Square. Neil, you missed AMD the last couple days. We were able to trade it, but it gets going, and when it gets going, it kind of goes parabolic. So watch out here. AMD bottom of 83.40, top side now 85.
Yeah, I want to see if this MVIS can actually hold up at this little bottom here at 280. It has bounced a couple times, the one time right through all the way down to like 274 here. So I think you got to give it at least to that 3/4, maybe even the 270 mark if you're trying to bottom pick. But if it consolidates any longer, I'll give it a shot. I mean, you're only going to be risking 5 to 10 cents depending on your risk tolerance to see if you can retrace. Even if $3 wouldn't be that bad. Just worth noting how far it's come, guys. We came from $2 on Monday this week. So I'm going to give it a tight stop here at about 270, 275 area. Brendan, what do you got?
When we were talking about at the end of the show yesterday, guys, if you're watching this, Livongo and Teladoc. So Teladoc and Livongo going to combine. We'll just jump over here. Yeah, Teladoc taking out Livongo. This is a cash and stock deal. So about 0.6 of one Teladoc share to Livongo shareholders and 11.33 in cash. So big mover today on huge volume Livongo, and you can look at TDoc as well, guys.
Okay, and here goes Nikola, guys. Big win. Long 34.10 up to 35 in change today. Again, guys, hit us up on Twitter. We gave you this one long time ago. Nikola, big time move to the upside. We waited. Neil played with some shorts. That was good. Then we reversed to the long side. Now we hit the home runs here on NKLA, baby. Nikola, nothing but love for you. Going upside 35.50. Let's take out a bit more here. We don't want to get slaughtered here. Pigs often do that. But right now, it's a money time here on Nikola. Let's get some out at 33, and we just do that. Bang that out for a $1.20 winner. So right there, not caught with our pants down at all on this name today. Nikola, good win.
Yeah, right here, that little bottom that it had in the afternoon. I'm not talking about the post market. I'm talking about right at lunchtime, 35.60. Could be a bit of resistance. If it starts to roll over, I've adjusted my stop, hard stop to 35, but I might just take it out in front here for like a $1.40, $1.50 winner. There might be more upside, but I think you're going to get a potential break a little bit higher as well, guys. So I think there's other breakouts to be had later in this trade. We did have success with the shorts. When it breaks that pivot, that's when you go from short to long. That's what a pivot point is, guys. So I'm out for a $1.40 winner in the last third. I'm going to look for any kind of a retracement here to either get consolidation, buy in front of that 34, or potentially catch a break, maybe through like a 36 even dollar area. One other stock, we just got into some Mara to the long side here on a bit of a bust to the upside. We talked about this level here at 435. Just got taken out. I got slipped to 39s on the long. We're going to get out and try to get out in front of that 476 pre-market high, of course. That's a break in and of itself.
Yeah, 4.47 here might be a good break in Mara. We're going to go long as well here now. So we're long Mara again. I meant to have 440. I actually had it there and then canceled it. We did talk about Mara again on the pre-market watch list. So I'll watch out here. Going to have a problem at 450, but with Bitcoin doing
bit of
what
a
it's
seller
doing,
there.
makes a lot of sense. What up, Brendan?
A little one from yesterday, guys. Another one that was moving around like crazy yesterday. 120 ended up being a bit of a level down here. We're all the way to 140 for Zosano Pharmaceuticals, ZSAN. 14.75% on huge volume, guys.
Line them up,
right,
knock them down, guys. We're going to bowl that 450 level over on Mara. Just got taken out, so I took some out there in front of that 450. And now on the back end, if we'll see if we can, well, that's very quick. We'll take 20 cents on some of these shares as well. Like I mentioned, you have that 475 looming at the top end, that pre-market high. I'm likely to get just about everything out in front of it because when it breaks out that pre-market high, that's a separate trade. And when it fails there at this time of day, look, a lot of times you get that rollover. It tries to take out the pre-market top, fails to do so, and becomes a fantastic short. And I always try that short, even if I like the long break, like we saw in Nikola. If I see a short setup, I'm going to take it anyways. So catching more shares out there. We have about 40% of it left. We'll try to get those out, probably in the mid-60s if we can. Otherwise, we're going to let this go, maybe to break even. With this failure here, it would signal a short to me, at least initially. So I want to make sure I'm not holding too much of that long and take the wins where we got them.
Yep, exactly. I'm just working a trade here as well. Yeah, we're in the money here. We've got some Mara long as well. We're long at 447. We didn't get that exact price there that we wanted. Good look by you, Neil, getting that nice price for 40s. But we're holding it out here for a little bit more upside, hopefully, to come in Mara. Our best out there is 58. So we'll watch the crypto space and see what that wants to do, see if we got some winners there. Nikola, we still into this one. It gets as high as 35.80. That's a big win no matter what happens there. And then GBTC right now with Bitcoin is making a move. Square also making a move. So let's see how high these ones wants to go. We're pretty light on Nikola though, guys. What's up, Brendan?
Another one that reported this morning, guys. Teva Pharmaceuticals back to the upside of the daily range here. If you go to the daily time frame, we're almost at that 1275, which was that last push higher. But initial gap to the upside was sold. We're right back to almost day highs here this morning on Teva, guys.
Oh man,
Yeah.
we do like that stock. I kind of miss that one reported as well. So you got to stay tuned for everything, obviously, as this market is rapidly changing and rapidly moving. Neil, you have any upside targets on Mara right now?
To be honest, like I said, 475 is going to be it for me because I already have a stop, and I was actually just double checking to make sure it was good to go long on a break of 476, which is the pre-market high. So I'm taking everything out in front of that because I intend on going long one more time through that little break. So I just got another leg out. I only hold a quarter left, and that was at 55. If it continues to roll over here, I will try to get all flat because it does feel rather enticing for me to at least attempt a breakdown short trade. So I just got Mara and MVIS to the long side, but I was just looking back at NVAX. Mixed result here. First short, okay, but I did stare, $3 in the face and not take it. You got to take those wins when they're there, guys. If you want to have the big wins, that's what you got to do. I do not, and then we get in the second short, get stopped out here at 188. I'm now looking at a 189 to 191 level up here as a bit of a test to the top, and I'm still thinking overall short. So it's either going to be 180, this little higher low that gets taken out, maybe we'll jump into a short, or I'm going to patiently wait for the top end of the range to be tested. As thank you very much, Valeria. Got a refill on the coffee there.
Oh, good. We need that refill. What up, Valeria? $36. And here we go. It's Nikola time. Big time trade, guys. If you're following me or able to, watch out for this. At Trader TV, Sean, we talked about all these levels that we liked in the pre-market here. Disney, 125.25. Thank you, Ms. V. Beyond Me, 134.25. Nikola, Square, SRNE, everything. Mara, 410 on Mara. Why didn't I take that trade? But there it is, guys. Trader TV, Sean, I'm going to put it in the chat if you can follow. We are up to almost 6,000 followers, so I think we can get there. Only 20 more. Hit me up if you can and follow me. Love to get to that 6,000 mark. But here we go, guys. Nikola back down through 36. Let's just get out of this one next time it breaks through 36, guys.
Yeah, I do want to jump over to Wayfair, which is finally trying to move here, putting in a break of that 290 area. Just watching as it holds the bottom end. So you did have pre-market level at 290. We have a breakout, and now trying to pull back with one test and now another test at 290. I think this is a good shot to get into a long and see if we can break out that 295. We're over $300 in the pre-market here, so there's definitely room to run. If you put a 290 stop in, you're literally risking $1.50 to $2 depending on where your entry is, maybe a little bit more than that, to see if you can take the top off and hold through. Take some profit out in front for half, and then the other half you're trying to run to 300. Wayfair, of course, been a rocket ship, now back positive after being negative at the open, guys.
Yeah, we keep saying they have what we need, and today they do as well. So Wayfair, big move there. We'll have to see what it does. Mara coming back down. I'm going to get out of this one. We did, let this go a little bit too much for us. I think it's fine. I know we just did a little talk there about it. My out's going to be breaking through 30 here at the bottom. It's just kind of a random level, but that's where this bunch happened. So we did break out through 30. Then we have that big run to the north side. So I like this as a breakout through. We cannot lose on it, so no worries on this one. But Mara, that's why you take some out. We always talk about pigs getting slaughtered, Neil, and that's why I asked you what the upside targets were. And I agree with you. We're going to hold the rest to see if we can get that 470 break. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Not into Wayfair yet, but we are still trying to pick up some shares. I don't want to cross the spread too heavily on that stock. I also want to jump quickly over to our good friend SRNE, which is rolling over again. I've had a couple of shorts at this one. First one won. The second one we got stopped out only for it to come back in the money. It's now starting to tighten up its range, which is not terribly exciting to me. If it's just going to hang around 14, I'm going to throw this one away as the volume is also decreasing later in the session. So I know it's in play, SRNE, and we'll probably revisit it if it breaks out through that low at 1335, or if it finally actually definitively takes out the top. But neither one of those things has happened. So just Mara long in the money and MVIS for the short term. I didn't want to go over to what's our good friend Whiting here. Up 18%, but you are watching it start to sell off after failing to get to $1.50 to the upside. It's now approaching its pre-market low. I would look to see, much like the position in MVIS, if we can put in a higher low here and consolidate, I might take a bit of a long trade off of that lower, higher low, hopefully around that 125. But for the time being, looking for consolidation first in Whiting. And it's 10 o'clock, guys, so let's go to Brendan for Happening Now.
Hey guys, yeah, back into positive territory here for North American markets. We'll have a look and see how things are shaping up so far. The Dow leading the way higher for U.S. markets here. You can see almost a full percent there for the Dow, 0.93%. The S&P about 0.5%, 0.55% in positive territory. Unlike, as I was mentioning, if you joined us at 9 o'clock, unlike Monday and Tuesday, NASDAQ, it is positive, but not leading the way so far today. The Russell back to the upside today was negative past couple of days, 1% higher for small caps. TSX 0.6% here in Toronto. Down in Brazil, yeah, having a big day for the BOVESPA, 2% to the upside so far. All about energy stocks here in Toronto so far for the TSX. Suncor here, 3.7% to the upside. Nice move off of the open. Huge volume behind that as well. Is my screen working today? I don't think it is. Guys, but have a look at Enbridge as well, and some of the banks were starting to move back to the downside here if you're trading in Toronto. Guys, back over to you.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll look at the TSX mark. Go ahead, Neil.
The downside of not paying the spread on a stock like Wayfair is unable to get in at that 291 area the first time. It bounces to the top end of the range, so there was a chance for you to get that little $3 in front of that 295. It doesn't break, so we're still in this range. Failed through 95, getting to like 43 or 44 cents above that price and coming back in. I'll take one shot again, maybe for a few less shares. Second time I don't like it as much, but it's going to be a 290 stop, same thing as it was before. I'll try to pick some shares up here in front of that 290. Might have to be a little bit more aggressive, but 60-cent spread on this stock. So you do have to watch out with your entry. I don't want to pay the full thing.
Yeah, no, same thing with Teladoc and a lot of these stocks today moving around. I did want to give, before we go here, and we're not going anywhere, I just want to talk about this. Look, it's very important. We did have our 500th member join up, so I'm going to hit the join button today right now. And what that does get you guys is a couple shout outs here. All of our members will give some shout outs when you join up. 500 members, it's a big milestone for us. Thank you so much. Over 67,000 subscribers. That $5 will just get you in here. Like, look at that wine. You get some little cool emojis and whatnot. You get little Neil's chicken dinner winner. Yeah, we're going to go back on to CCL, guys. It's 7 a.m. in LA. Yeah, that's a good time for drinking time. Any time is wine time. But thank you so much for the support, guys. Nicola coming back down. Our kill spot on this last 10% will be right here, 34.70 on the downside. We probably should have cashed it out at 36, like I said. We had multiple fails up there. 1, 2, 3. But again, guys, thank you so much. Thank you to Joachim for being our 500th member. And it's a big day for us here when we can celebrate that. So the stream remains free. Neil's camping. So next time, maybe if we get some more members, we can camp in a glamping situation, Neil. But I like camping, though. Don't get me wrong. I love camping. But when it rains, it pours.
It was cheating. It was cheating camping because there was a building very, very close. Although my in-laws do the real thing, we have to get in a canoe.
There we go.
And you travel for days to the camping site. They have not indoctrinated me into that. But I did head back home with a tent that I didn't have before. So that donation from my father-in-law likely means he thinks I'm going camping with them next time for real. Brendan, what do you got?
Etsy, guys, running into earnings after market tonight. Etsy will report up 3.5% here today. Look at the daily chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days straight to the upside for Etsy, guys.
Etsy's amazing,
Wow,
guys.
they're
I mean,
monster.
I can't believe that stock, and that's a stay-at-home COVID play for sure, over and over and over again. Etsy, a great name there, and a great stock to trade. Let's look at that ETSY over on the NASDAQ. I cannot believe where this stock has come from. Check out the daily chart over here on Etsy, $30. This doesn't have Wayfair type move, but this is a big move, guys. Etsy up to 134 today, up 3.5%. Let's see if we can take out 135, 135.50 to the top side in Etsy, guys.
Yeah, and finally got into that Wayfair, just playing this sort of 290-ish, 295 range. The plan for me is going to be, like I said, a relatively tight stop. It's only a couple of dollars here on a $300 stock, basically. You're looking to see if it can get up towards the top end of the range at 95. If it breaks through, I'm looking for 300 area for a bit of a target on the second half of the shares. Otherwise, we'd get some shares out in the 94 to 94 half range. And of course, as I'm saying it, we break to the downside. And the frustrating thing about this trade is, had a couple of shots to pick this one up here at 91, and again, risking only a couple of dollars, but it gave you that win twice. I didn't have it either time. The third time is not a charm on Wayfair. Doesn't have what I need on that trade, but I can tell you NVAX did. I literally just mentioned to you guys about a 180 break to the downside. Then you see this big time volume spike and candle through. I was crossed down, unable to pick up shares in NVAX to the downside. They're now testing 175 even. That's the next breakdown on NVAX. Now, of course, you can see where the stock has come from, and we talked about how much room there is in terms of a gap fill. Yeah, you still have about $15 if you're going to get back anywhere close to previous close yesterday, and it does seem like it wants to do that. 175 is the next break. Consolidation, maybe that 182 range. If we can get any kind of a pullback, we'll jump into the short that way as well.
Okay, yeah, we're just we're hunting for some trades here. Yeah, you did see Mara there break below 30 finally. Should have given a little bit more. VWAP came up to 30 there, so probably not a great out there for Mara, but we took it anyways. 430. So we'll fall a little bit in a hole, but we did slay that dragon early. What up, B? What's up,
another one, guys, that reported aftermarket yesterday. I was enjoying the cartoons. Vapotherm here, 32%. This is a medical technology company. Reported weaker than expected results, obviously. This thing was $54 yesterday. We're trading at 35. So really ugly on the daily chart as well for VAPO, guys.
Yeah, and I just want to get back over to Beyond Meat here, of course. It's actually now only 6% to the downside. It just bursted through this little level here, 133.80, but much more interesting if it takes out 134, the even for me. Look, it put in a higher low, a successive higher lows at least at this point. So watch for a 134 break. And then you're just looking to see if you can't retrace close towards this failed top here at about 137. Of course, it got to 138.50. I would look for only a couple of dollars into that 137 range on this particular break.
Yeah, and we're trying to trade a little bit of Bitcoin. We haven't been super successful in that one today. We can look at Snapchat off of some of that ByteDance news right there. Mara looks like it's holding up well at 430, so watch out for that one for sure. We got a member there. Thank you so much, member. I think number 503 right there. Thank you so much. Devang Vora, thank you so much for that as we continue to go here today. Thank you for all the viewership today. It's pretty high. We'll get to go. Remember to hit that like and that subscribe. And then after market today, guys, we have some big coming ups here. This is, whoops, what happened there? At 11, there it is, at 11:55, the top 5 traders' mistakes and how you can avoid them. Neil will be talking about that. And then right after the show, another coming up, which is not working on mine, but at 1 o'clock, we're going live to Real, guys, with a whole bunch more topics. We'll have that for you when we do. It's not working on my screen. Hopefully it's working on Brendan.
Yeah, I just want to look at this Mara here. I did get out when it retook at that break even. Anytime I already have, and you can see here, like 85% of the position out on the breakout trade. I'll usually move it to break even, but 425 has held here. So if we get consolidation any longer, I'll probably jump back into another long. I think take that one to the 450 price. I still believe we're going to run into trouble at that 475 pre-market high. It's a higher low, so it does become a short for me between 450 and this 465 area, probably 460 short, and then look for something an out at 75 and a reversal to the long side. But it's already 10:10. That means we need to get some upgrades and downgrades with Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, let's get to a few more symbols to have a look at so far this morning. Upgrades on this side, downgrades over there. Yeah, very rare for this one to make an appearance on that side of the board. But yeah, downgrade for Apple today. We talked about this one yesterday, BP with their earnings. So an upgrade today, 2% to the upside, actually closer to 2% now for BP. Walt Disney, we talked about NVAX and Valvoline, yeah, 4%. Thinly traded stock though. Apple, New Relic, interesting, really big miss on earnings, number of downgrades as well. But yeah, big time move to the downside there, you can see. And Tyson Foods, one's from the food group, moving to the downside today. Wanted to talk about Beyond Meat. As I mentioned at the top of the show, if you joined us at 9 o'clock, multiple rating changes on Beyond Meat. So you can kind of look at this either direction. There were a few to the downside. There was a few to the upside. Price target increases anywhere from 125 I saw up to 140 on Beyond Meat. So very active on the analyst side of things today for Beyond Meat. Apple, yeah, downgraded today. No one cares. Big move up from 435 to approaching 441. Still wanted to mention, though, inside of yesterday's range. So watch that high up there from yesterday on Apple. Let's go back over to Neil.
Yeah, downgrade Apple. Good luck with that. Beyond Meat here, guys. I did take that break through 134. The scalp side of the trade already in and out in front of 134.50. I can't show you now as Brendan was talking, but there was a bit of a seller that stepped up big enough for me to take that little scalp trade and then look for any kind of a pullback that can hold this 133.50 range. If it does, we'll jump back into some more shares there. But Valeria has something for us.
Hey guys, and welcome everyone who joined us for the first time. Please subscribe to this channel and join our live trading show every day at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Also, if you want to support, you can become our member. Well, everything we do for you is for free, so membership is the way to show your appreciation. Also, guys, you will have privileges on the chat and you will be a part of something big and cool. Thank you very much, everyone who is a member, and welcome to the family. And guys, also sorry to everyone who experiencing some troubles with the stream. It's not on our end, and hopefully YouTube will fix it soon. I'll see you later, and back to traders.
Thank you very much, Valeria. And I thought that maybe we'd get consolidation on MARA, and the plan was if we got it, we'd go long 425, but 425 was the level, and that's the short that triggers me in here. If we take, look, if we can hold below, maybe there's an opportunity to add to this position on consolidation. First leg, if we get some out in front of $4, I'd certainly look to add back in 425. But once you break through a pivot point, I'm going to jump into that short side trade, guys. And look, once again, Valeria just mentioned it, and Pat Patriot there, a new membership as well. So we appreciate you guys joining the family. Hope you get something out of this. Hope you're enjoying the show for now. I do have a couple of long positions on, one coming back in here, and that's going to be that MVIS. We did try to take some out of VWAP, but it just broke the low. So I actually just got triggered out. This is going to be a short for me, but did not catch the short on the reversal at 275. Only got out of the trade. I'll have to wait for a pullback on MVIS. This one's starting to come back in after a failed break through that 285.
Yeah, what up, Daryl? Thank you so much for that. Yeah, Neil with the call there on SRNE. So thank you so much there. Daryl, you're a big member for us as well. We'll get on CCL for you. Pat, Patriot, Bo, and AJ. I know we already did a little bit of that, but thank you so much for those memberships rolling in. We really appreciate it. The only position we have on right now is this Nikola trade. It's $1 in the money. I'm going to try to get this thing going back up through 35 for you. So we'll see if that one can go. Not too sure. Intel might be picking up a bid here a little bit as we go. What's up, Brendan?
Guys, interest dying down a little bit in Kodak, but just want to mention we did get back below 15 here. Big level from yesterday, so it failed a couple of times. Wish I saw that move back down, but 15 big level for Kodak, kind of grinding back to the downside. Still decent volume, but nowhere near what it's been over the past few days, guys.
Yeah,
Kodak's
5.5. Yeah. 6 million is not that interesting, but I mean, I'll add to that 1450 here, just a bit of a bottom before the open as well. So if it rubs that 15 and fails, that'd be your first target for some scalp trades, which I think is likely to be the case for the most part in that name, at least today. Beyond Meat, we did get a reload. I talked about if it got down to VWAP and held, I'd take another shot in. We did a 50-cent breakout trade. Now we're reloading in front of 133 even. If it gets back above 134, we'll take another 60, 70 cents worth of a win while trying to hold out for a bit more. I want to see if it can test 135 and then get anywhere near that sort of halfway point, that 136.50 to 137. It's hard to see there, but yeah, we wicked all the way up to 138. 40 or so. That's the actual high. Not anticipating a secondary move quite that big in Beyond Meat, but already 1 for 1, and see if we can't get that reload to win as well.
Yeah, I do like that Beyond Meat reload there. I was looking at Intel possibly heading to the north side now. We haven't had much love from Intel lately, but with AMD getting super heated, I'm wondering if Intel can also, I mean, look at AMD, a nice little bump up here. Remember, it's those N7 chips that Intel is so far behind on now that I don't know if they can catch up or not, but Intel now making move to the downside, Intel making move to the upside, AMD rocking upside right now. Netflix, I did want to touch on that quickly. 506 Netflix right now, bouncing around. I just wanted to show you guys this chart. This is something that I look for. However, way too choppy right now on Netflix. Back and forth, can't really make up its mind here. Disney back to 128 right now. What a trade that was off the open. Down here, we had that one screaming long up to 129.50. We did dump it right here. Look at this bottom being made. I like this look. Let's take it once again on a break through 128, guys. This looks like a strong stock again.
Yeah, Nicola here, just watching this, monitoring this pullback. Our initial break, of course, was at 34. We basically tried to put in a bit of a higher low here, holding VWAP, holding 34.60. I think once we get below this initial price, I'll actually start considering the short opportunity. If you get a long consolidation, maybe like 20, 30 minutes, getting into that 11 o'clock hour, I'd look for a 34 breakdown trade. Nicola had to pay for locates here, so some of you cannot short Nicola. We paid for that privilege here, Day Trade the World. But I am willing to go both directions. I did so in the morning initially, so went 1 for 2 on the short and then 1 for 1 on the long side trade. So obviously the long, the better side of that trade. But I think if you get below that 34, nice little retest of those bottoms that we saw in the morning that we were able to catch. So call it 32.50 to 33. Those would be your targets to the downside if you can catch a reversal in Nicola past 34 even.
Okay, we're going to use some of this momentum here to get some out on Disney. We do go long 128.05 right now, and it's busting upside a little bit. We took out some 14s there. We do think that Disney can test back up here, 129-ish, if the market goes. And then our out on Disney will be somewhere down here. We do have VWAP. We do have a little breaking spot down here, too, at 127.40. So lots of room and lots of runway upside here on Disney as, it's getting going once again. So hopefully a nice little trade here on Disney. Upside again, and that's it. We slay that dragon, and the dragon this time is Brendan as Disney going upside. We love this name. I still think 9% is a lot, but we're long again, and bang, there it goes, Disney. Yes, sir. We hit that. We hit a cowbell for you right now. Disney, nice little upside move here, guys. Was expecting this one back to 129 or so. Let's dump some right now, 40-cent win.
Yeah, just looking at an ARPO, someone was just asking, I think it was a Sebastian, support at 150, no Moss. It just broke 150 here, up 13% still, but really starting to come back in heavily. I would consider support to be a little bit closer to that 120 range to like 135 if it can get down to that price and give you some kind of consolidation as opposed to just the round number of 150. Look, it's trying to hold it now. I'm seeing a bid sort of spike back up here, but this has already given back a significant amount. If you've missed a short, which I have, I don't want to just chase it for a long trade simply because it would have been the best short, certainly the ones I was watching today. I think at 130, it's a bit of a better area if it makes a bottom down at that price, guys, but that's just my personal opinion here in ARPO. If you do get a break to the upside, I'd be looking at this about 167 to 170. Maybe gives you something into VWAP for a small little scalp there, but it's not going to be too big of a trade for me either way. I do want to quickly jump back over to Beyond Meat. We did take a reload on Beyond Meat here at 132.30. It just broke the even, so we're out of that trade. So you go 1 win, 1 loss on the long breakout. Beyond Meat now settling into a bit of a range-bound trade. Let's see if it can actually hold. It had successive higher lows that it put in here. So I'd want to make sure it doesn't put in another one before I get away from this long idea. Yeah, we crushed some Beyond Meat there, and it's now, back to 132. Okay, starting to break down a little bit there, but we hit that momentum early, and I think that's what the trade that I like to do. We'll stay away from Beyond Meat. Mr. Softy yesterday, pretty successful day. We did wind up negative on it, so there is, I sort of looked back and I was thinking to myself, why are we trading something when TikTok news, like right here, it just came out now, much as 30 billion. So remember we talked about, I said Snapchat was valued at 32 billion. Wouldn't be surprising if Microsoft takes this for 30 billion. That would be pretty nice, a nice get for them, I believe. So we'll wait to see here on Microsoft right now. Brendan, what's up? Oh, we're at the big board.
Hey guys, yeah, it is that time. Let's have a little review session. Yeah, Neil was just talking about this one. We'll go through it again. ARPO was up significantly more than that, but still higher on the day. Positive news for this one. $2 here. Big time pivot in the pre-market up to 210. So 2 to kind of 210. If you go to the daily chart, this close from yesterday was around that 210 area. So that is what people were kind of eyeing in the pre-market here. This was actually halted one time in the pre-market. Finally broke below 210. Gave you a shot. Had to be looking at it obviously in the pre-market there, but a nice move down. We are through 150 on our way down to 140 there on a big spike, as we were saying. So ARPO, lots of opportunity on the short side. Yeah, just showed you this one. Kodak, really love that 1550 to 1560 from over here from yesterday. So if we got anywhere close to that today, really like that to the downside. And then 15. So just trying this now underneath 15, needs to hold in here and then break further to the downside for Kodak. On the short side. And Mara, yeah, one that didn't work today. Nice little consolidation around this 430, 425. Yeah, this was all on me because I should have saw that blockchain or Bitcoin all higher today. So a nice move back to the upside for Mara. Riot also back in positive territory above that high, though. Would have been a decent shot on the long. Really hasn't done a heck of a lot, though, since it did break that high. Guys, back over to you.
Yeah, I missed that opportunity. It looks like in Neo pulling back. It did give you a consolidation lower and then pulling back around the sort of 1375, 1380 area, right back into 1350. Missed opportunity. I did try to mention this one and didn't find my way into a trade here. Certainly the shot was there to be had. Unfortunately, for a couple of names, Kodak, I did mention that I was looking at this one for a potential low-end break. It hasn't done that, and it's still below that 15 mark. So I'm just not seeing a heck of a lot in this 10-15 cent range to get me involved in it, unfortunately. But I am going to catch this break. If we catch this little bottom here at 14.50 and it breaks down, I'll take a shot at that trade. See if we can't hang on for a nice little scalp win in 14 even. Outside of that, the 15 break long I'm not going to do, but a failure to break through in a rollover will also get me short into Kodak for the time being. But those are the only trades I really see. I have taken a shot at Mara after winning to the long side to the short side trade on the retracement here. I did just get some shares as well at 36, so my average price close to what my target would have been at about this 430 area, but it's actually 28s. Need to take out 420, and speaking of 420, oddly enough, as I look over at Nikola, I mentioned a 34 break for me to go short. I'm sort of changing that to 34.20 here. Just looking at this level here in the pre-market, if it breaks below that, that looks like a better pivot. It wicked down, bounced off that price on the way up. So forget about 34 even. I'm going short at 34.20 on Nikola.
Yeah, and it looks like we did it again here on Disney, guys. We take that long through 128. It's at 128.90 right now, so a good little trade here happening for us on DIS. They reported huge numbers, so we're going to also tweet that out right now so you guys can look back at the charts and see why we took the long. Why did we take 125 long? Well, we tweeted that out early this morning, and we took it because it broke it, and it was just a pre-market high there, 125-ish. I mean, it was a little higher than that, but we take the long and enjoy that all the way. Missed the ride up, but we're not missing this one. 95 cents right now in the money. So just another chicken dinner winner for you guys here on Disney. We do want to look back at Square, see if we can't get a little check back on that one. This has fallen back down. We did miss that initial run. We're well away from VWAP right now, so not too sure what we think about this right here for Square, but it's all the way down again. What's up, Brandon?
Another one, guys, to look at. If you remember way back to, I believe it was the beginning of June, just let's double check, why don't we? While we're here, I will shift over so we can have a look at the chart. There we go. NET, N-E-T-E on the NASDAQ. This is a daily time frame. So if you go all the way back to, yeah, I think it was around the beginning of June, they were talking about merger or potential merger with an EV company called Mullen Technologies from California. So they've gone ahead and executed on that deal. So it's an all-stock deal. Net Element merging with Mullen Technologies, which is an EV car company from California, guys. So Net's doing a lot of volume on that news today, guys.
Definitely worth a look. I will, as always, come back with a winner outside of Brendan there. It's going to be MARA. We talked about that little reload on the build pop. I'm going to take these out as we're breaking that 420 mark. Just got some out at 18. I'll get some out in front of 4 even. This bottom here, I'll be likely flat to close to maybe like 10-15% left at this 390-ish area at the low. I think that'll be a breakdown trade potentially, and hopefully if we get any kind of a pop back off of 4 even, I can get a reload at the 4-quarter range and then rinse and repeat on that trade. Kodak still not moving, so 1450 has not come into play there. And of course, I did mention we like the short in Nikola if it broke 34.20. Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. It just made a move upside about $1. I'd still look for a 36 break at the top. So you get that opening range, call it 30 minutes in there. Top break, you can catch that as well on Nikola. So I'll go long at 36 in addition to that 34.20 short.
Yeah, let's go 152.05 here. So long on square. If we can get a square long through 152. Looks like it may have made a bottom there. We can hold this one for about $1 if it does go back. But right now it looks like square fading back down. It's up that 11%. So we keep talking about that may be a little heated today because considering the run that square has been on. But let's not let's not kid ourselves. Still a nice 11% here. We're looking at 152 break. We did have some consolidation down there at the bottom. Thank you so much to Daryl coming on board now. Another Daryl is on board right here. Big shout out to Daryl Caro de US right there. Thank you so much. Probably brutalized that name, but there you go, Daryl. Thank you so much for becoming a member. It means a lot to us here. So square 152 break, we're looking at that one. Disney's come all the way back, so that's why we're only in 10% of this position. We'll get out if it breaks back down below 128. I think it's a good time just to take this off maybe right now, 128.50. Let's celebrate a win because like we always say, a win is a win, and it's not a win until you take it off. So nice little 40-cent move here in Disney. It did go all the way $1 plus in the money, comes back half. Sounds good to me. 128.60. Let's take this out, Disney, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to take some more shares off of MAR if we can in front of that $4 range. But I did want to sort of jump back that MYOS. We don't have locates in this one, but it's really starting to look even better on a $2 break to the downside. I did mention if you got long enough consolidation, it would be an interesting long in front. The bad news there is the volume's really starting to taper off. It's on 54 million, but you are seeing a big time slowdown in the rate of volume. It's still going to be a fantastic short, I think, on a $2 even break. But at this point, I'd take a shot, at least scalping a 220 break to the upside, maybe cash 10, 15 pennies on MYOS. I wouldn't think necessarily home run at this time of day with the volume falling down, but I'd file it away in the afternoon. If this level's held and you get to 1, 2 o'clock, you might get a secondary push in MYOS. Otherwise, I'm going to keep checking for locates so I can go short at 2 even.
Okay, we're just, like I said, we're making a few moves here. We did get out of that Disney for a nice little win there. We got out at 70, so we did crack that winner for you guys there. So good little trade there for us on Disney. We're happy with that. We'll make that all day, every day. We've been crushing it right here. If you're just joining us for the first time, Twitter, I'll put it up there. We posted some of those winners today on Twitter. If you're just joining us for the first time to see what we've been doing, there it is right there. Square, PayPal, NVIDIA, Walmart. That was an interesting name that Brendan came with us yesterday. We talked about that. Brendan and I sitting here last night, and I said, oh, the Amazon killer is done because they're not doing that Prime yet for that, and that's been hitting them today. The news came out yesterday, didn't do much to the stock. I believe it was around lunchtime. It did rifle back up in the end of the day rally that we've been pretty used to, but right now, Walmart looking to take out the bottom, 128.82. If this market ever fails, which I don't know if it's going to, Walmart would be a decent short opportunity on some negative news. Neil, we haven't looked at CCL yet. I haven't looked
at the airlines, and I haven't looked at airlines either. But there's been so much to get to certainly there, and of course, Delta's certainly worth watching with their stake in the other Virgin there. But it's basically flat. I think. If the market rolls over here, Sean, you mentioned it's a bit sideways action at the top. If we get a rollover, I think there's an opportunity, maybe catch a short here. I'd be watching a DAL here at 25.75. Just got into position on MYOS when it just broke 220, but Brendan's got something for us.
Wednesday, guys, it's 10:30. That means crude oil inventory is time for anyone trading the energy markets. Inventory number just out. They were expecting a 3 million barrel drawdown. Came out more than 2 times that. 7.3 million barrel drawdown for crude inventories. The API number out aftermarket yesterday, also looking for a drawdown. So crude to the upside here, guys.
All right, we continue our big day here with our only loser being Sorrento Therapeutics. We take it right off the open here. Again, thanks for joining us, guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Follow all of us on Twitter. There was just size there at 1380 there. Got chewed up. Then there's size at 1375, also getting chewed up. So right now, SRNE making moves to the downside. So watch out. We were able to get out, unfortunately, at that low. Then we held a little bit, got out even more there. So not a great trade for us on Sorrento, but it is coming back to the downside. Like I said, that news I think was a little overheated. We got that news a while ago about the syringe and the saliva test. So that's out right now, and we'll see what happens. Yesterday, guys, 30% move, +6 today. Seems like a good move for Sorrento Therapeutics shareholders, in my opinion. Okay, Square goes and tries to break through 152. We have that long right now, 152.06. We're giving it room. I mean, obviously, with earnings now, this thing can go. So 152.06 right now, long here on Square. Let's give it back. I don't know if back down to the bottom here, but 150, 150 at least, guys, squared long side.
Yeah, I just have a couple positions here. Still have the MARA short at 430. That's in the money down to 420. I took some more shares off there on the way back in, but I just got the long in MYOS breaking back above 220. And I'm now looking back at Kodak. It just, on a volume spike down, just ticked at 1450, so did not trigger any kind of a sell for me just yet. But worth noting, a big-time volume spike that took it all the way down to that sort of 1450 mark. If it breaks, we'll take the shot short in Kodak, guys. But it just hasn't happened yet for us, and I don't want to force it by any stretch of the imagination. Sort of a surprise move to the upside. We talked a little bit about Macy's. Rounding and holding of the high end here. 648 is the top. I think 650 is the level I will use. Call it my bias or whatever you want to call it in terms of these retailers. But shorting in front of 650 sounds like not a bad idea to me. You can always reverse into the long trade. It's that time of day. We're risking a few pennies to see if you can catch either a retracement back and through VWAP, or a bit of a breakout at 650. We'll play it both directions, but I got to get an entry point closer to that 645, 46 mark on Macy's.
Yeah, we're dumping some of the Square right now. We're back into half of our position as it does not want to go right now. We take that breakout, and when a break doesn't work, you got to get out. I've learned my lesson with those. So 152 does not go on Square, so we're going to try to get out now. We have been getting out in the 70s. Now it's in the 50s, now 40s, now 30s, now gone. So there it is. We flush ourselves down the toilet. We give up some profits there on Square, but again, we tried it. We liked it. It wasn't a heavy position. You'll know when it is. Something has to break key levels and whatnot, not just random levels. Like if we can get back going up here, 153.50, maybe we'll give it that shot. But right now, Square to the downside. Again, probably a little bit overheated here, so we're not going to really worry too much about that. Disney is still flat flushing around. Beyond Meat with a nice little move back upside, 134.53. That could be a good little look there. You were holding that long, Neil, or were you holding short?
No, I'm out of it. We took two shots to the long, one win, one loss. But, it actually does hold at 132.50. I had a 133 stop for my position. If it breaks through this little top where I got out, sort of top wick, and it's 134.50, that's where I saw a bit of a seller. If it breaks that, I think you can catch a scalp trade, hopefully getting to that 137 area that we liked from before. Brendan has got something for us.
A little infrastructure company, guys. Veritiv, VRT in New York, up 12% today. They reported this morning as well in the pre-market, so a nice look for them, up to 17 here on a volume spike. This is all-time high territory for VRT, guys.
VRT.
That's a new one.
Okay, yeah, name that we don't really trade too often. VRT, we'll look at that one. Teladoc as well coming off. We talked about why that was with the Livongo deal. So that's moving around. If you always see my eyes moving in random spots here, it's just because we have different charts up here, a 12-minute, a 1-minute, a 3-minute, a daily and whatnot to go. What I haven't been doing too much today is Hydration Nation. Where is that button? We haven't hit that in a while. There's Iceberg, there's To the Moon, there's a whole bunch. There it is, Hydration Nation. So shout out to everybody hitting the water bottles with us as well here as we go. It's been a busy day, so let's hydrate and get back on the horse, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to get right back over to our good friend Nicola here. Starting to roll back to the downside. I'm still looking at a 34.20 area, but I think certainly if you are looking at that long and you're hanging on to it, I took my long position off If it cannot hold that 34.50, that could be a nice little place to take some profit. If you're looking at that 34 break and sort of holding the bag there, it gave you $2 and is retracing, but you're talking about successive lower highs here, and it's going to be a short for me, either 34.20 or even taking a shot at that 36 if it comes back up. But it's a breakout long. That's the only other long I'm taking at this point in Nikola, but that 34.20 is starting to loom large to the downside trade. Mara coming back here for a potential reload, but I just got in on Beyond Meat. So that level that we just literally mentioned 2 seconds ago, I guess if you talk about it, the trade will come in 134.50. That's where we got out the first time. Bit of a seller there. They just got broken. Now we're headed upside. I'll probably do the same thing I did before. Try to scalp the first little bit out and then ride the rest of that train, hopefully, like I keep saying, to 137 if we can get it.
I do like this Nikola break that you're talking about here, Neil, 134.50. I know you're talking a little bit lower than that, but 134.50 is this spot right here where we actually got out before letting it rip up against, not against us, but back for profits. Nikola 1 for 1 today. Only position was this long, so we'll wait to see now if it does come cracking back downside. And if it does, you know we'll be involved with Nikola Motors alongside there. Off their earnings report yesterday, obviously not as great as shareholders wanted, down 10%. I think, again, a lot of that was just the rhetoric of timing, not knowing when they're going to be releasing anything to go. So not a good look there. SRNE is still doing a lot of volume here as we go. So 130, 1370, looking to break higher here. This is not a bad spot, 1380 to go on SRNE, guys, 1380.
Yeah, just noting for me, the breakout's great in Beyond Meat here, and I'm not going to do a reload in this. I'm just going to, take out the scalp and then hold the rest. For me, not going to necessarily reload because that didn't work out last time. Stick with the breaks. But I also did get into Kodak, that short at 14.50. We got 44s. I'll take some out on the way down to 14 even. I did say there's a chance this stock has turned into a bit of a scalp trade, but long in Beyond Meat, that's a new one for a winner. And then Kodak short also winning. Brennan, what do you got?
A car company, or a company that works on propulsion methods for cars, guys, that is not electric based. So this is a combustion based propulsion methods company, Delphi, DLPH, moving to the upside today. 1520 all the way up to 1650. They're working on some clean energy fuels for automotives, guys.
Okay, clean energy fuels, we like that. We're still waiting for that Nikola to come through here. Don't know if that will happen, but if it does, we'll be all over that, going to the downside there on Nikola Motors. So SRNE, that did not happen. We came close to that 1380. I did like it. It's been a bunched up spot there, bunched up there. So now we'll wait for 1380 to come through. I will take that. It's easy out because the out will be down here at 1350. So we can give it 30 cents to see if it can get going once again. SRNE, we saw what that could do yesterday, but look what's happening right now, though. The market, guys, market be falling now. So let's go over to Apple again, just to see what they're doing. Down to 438 right now. Already broke that VWAP mark to the downside. So where do we like Apple right now? 438 or so. I don't know. I'm going to drop down to a 3-minute chart. Do we have something else on this on a 3-minute? I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't short Apple here yet. Needs to get below 436.50. So we're still $2 away from that.
We can always short Kodak, though. Yep. I think that's sort of like look, the market's falling. Kodak's falling anyway. So we did take that 1450, break to the downside. Just a little zoom out here. So you can see yesterday's action, 1410 was a bit of a level. It did break and give you to 80. So I'll hold the second half of the position for a break of that price area, hopefully getting me something in that range. That 1380 is an absolute target. I got 44 short, already taken 25 pennies for half of it. Now let's see if we can get, like a 40, 50 cent win on Kodak. It's not the, $1, $2, $3 maybe I was having last week, and certainly those were great trades. Starting to be a little bit more consolidation, a little bit less volatile, but still some good trades to be had, and I'm only going short in Kodak. I had a long, one time, the first day on its parabolic move, I had one scalp breakout long. Everything else has been short for me.
I like the Beyond Meat report there, and I know it just faded through 134. Not a big deal there, but I did want to look at that one more time because, like Neil, I was trying to get long at certain prices here. So we hit the Beyond Meat long, then we hit the short. If you ever see red or purple ticks, guys, that's short. So we did short Beyond Meat. It's pulling back down here. This is kind of the level we like, 133.30. So if I can get long here, 133.75 or so, we will do some of that on Beyond Meat and then give it back down here to 133.30. 30 on a break. But Beyond Meat, a long stock today. I don't know though, man. We're down 5.5%, Neil. That's the thing that scares me a little bit with this. I don't like going long on breakouts on stocks that are down so much. However, we did make a nice little trade off the open on a similar strategy and a similar setup. So coming back in right now, watch out for Beyond Meat. I don't even mind where you're long right here, 134.50 or so. I actually like that trade. That could be breaking to the downside. I'm going to wait for a little bit lower, 133.50. If I can pick some shares up there, I think that's prudent to do so.
And now feeling comfortably back in the zone. And look, you just sort of jump back on the horses that are the winning horse, guys. And that's going to be shorting in Kodak. It's been breakdown trades for me. I did not catch anything on the way up, unfortunately. It did roll over at 16. Not close enough to get me in. But we mentioned several times 14.50 was going to be the trade today. Pre-market bottom, then put in a low just in front of that a couple of times here. Still do have that last 20% quarter of the position here that we're going to hold on to just in case it's a bigger move. But we wanted 13.80. We got 13.90 out for a 54-cent win on the next quarter. Now I'm going to move my stop to break even and then see how far we can ride this. I'll short a pop in front of 14.50 likely as well. But it's 10:40. That means Brendan is ready at the big screen for our sector watch.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the overall S&P 500. A little bit more directional than we've seen over the past couple of days. Yeah, full 0.5% to the upside here, 0.54% for the S&P 500. You can see lots of blue, which means positivity. Let's start over in this group here, the energy sector. Back to the upside today. It was a bit of a mixed bag yesterday, but moving mostly higher today, led by Devon, CXO, and FTI. They're all 3+% to the upside. Devon 7% on earnings as well. Apache 3.24%, and MRO Halliburton's in there as well, more than 3% to the upside. So most of the strength from the energy group. Some of the material stocks also back in positive territory. Mosaic, big mover yesterday, 6.3% on earnings. Freeport, FCX here, 9% to the upside. So these two making up a lot of the positivity so far today in this market. PRGO up here, just while we're here, healthcare stocks in the pharmaceutical group. That was an earnings report as well. So 9.74% to the downside. But these guys over here in the equipment makers helping to offset that. So this group itself, a little bit to the positive side, but a little changed overall. Consumer discretionary stocks, we talked about the travel names. Don't see them. We'll get to that in a sec. But I wanted to mention Under Armour. They reported earlier in the week. We talked about Under Armour to the upside again today, 4.5%. Tapestry, 7%. Also Kohl's and GPS, 5.5% and 3% there. So retailers back in positive territory. Saw Macy's this morning right out of the gate was very strong. No significant reason behind that, but nice look for Macy's. Other than anytime we see the vaccine or positive vaccine news come, you see the travel names coming back to life. You see some of these retailers back in positive territory as well. Here we go. Airlines over here. Love, Southwest 2%, Alaska 1.8%. There's AAL and UAL is either one of those. It did go negative was my point. So UAL back to the downside. Expedia 2.5% in negative territory as well. Everything else over here though nicely higher. So industrials, financials as well, also back to the upside today, led by insurance companies. Some of the banks are higher. Individual names though reported earnings that were not good. As you can see, there's a few that are in negative territory here, but overall that group also positive, guys. So for the most part, yeah, nice look. 0.6% for the S&P. Back over to you guys.
Yeah, the S&P never seems to fail, apparently. We're going to take JP Morgan long. I do like this possibility for a breakthrough, 97.65 right now. JP Morgan hovering around. We talked about we're going to sector watch, bank sector right now up 2.2%, stronger than the market. Let's take a JP Morgan long if we can get it through 97.60 right now, guys.
Yeah, I just have a couple of positions here in the money. Of course, Kodak, but actually back at the money now that I look at is Beyond Meat. But I want to jump over to IZEA. Big ramp up to the upside here off of 1030 move, 140 even break. It's now starting to give you some consolidation. It's always worth noting. We've traded this one before. It did just bust out sort of and hold right at this 165 range, which a couple of times recently has been a resistance point. So this is not a random price that we're running into and consolidating at. If it fails here, it's got some significance to it, and I might take a quick little short there off of this rollover at 165 with a 170 top on IZEA. Just popped up on the volume scanner there, of course, at 13 million shares. But that's an interesting price when you go back to the daily time frame. Can't hold above it. I'm going to be jumping into that short trade. I did mention Beyond Meat just came back to basically flat. Looked like it was going to get going. Broke through 135 with 70 cents in the money. Now, I've already taken the scalp trade for a 50-cent winner. That's why I'm not going to take it off. I'm holding the rest for, right around this 136.50 area to hopefully catch a couple of bucks. You try to give it down towards this like 133.50 price that Sean was looking at. So on this second half of the trade, willing to risk a buck to try to make two. That's going to be the plan for me on Beyond Meat. Otherwise, ultimately, I'm not shorting this stock yet. But if we do break and hold below 132.50, I was looking initially to try to short some short trades. Haven't gotten into one. If we hold below that 132.50, that'll be my entry point to think about a short trade on Beyond Meat.
Yeah, we just did get long into JP Morgan where we said we would. 97.65 break, so we're long 66 here on JP Morgan as the future's trying to make a move high side. So we'll wait to see on this one. We have VWAP down here at 97.40. I think that's reasonable to give it down to that at least on some sort of a breakout possibility. But look at the futures now coming back down. I did say that we would give a shout out to any of our new members. So we may have missed a couple right there. What's up to Kevin right there. Thank you so much for that. And then there was one more that I saw. I have to scroll. Gutter Punk as well. Great name. Thank you so much for that as well as we go. And look at all these members here. Dan, what's up to Dan Rowland? 365 days to trade. You're always on here. Big shout out to my friend Joseph Mendoza as well. I see you. Elizabeth as well. Mr. Wheelie Man and Aaron Smith. What's up? Shout out to everybody. Thanks for making this community really what it is. And that is sharing one. And we like that. We share some ideas with you. You share some ideas with us. And thank you so much for that. If you did want any names or symbols to pop out, guys, again, we're doing this show for free. Any sort of super chats would be greatly appreciated. Or membership as well would be good. XLF. Yeah, XLF is the Spider ETF for the financials. So if you're looking to trade anything in the financial area, but you want to maybe buy for a more longer term, XLF is a good one. What up, B?
Yeah, this one, IZEA. Neil just bringing this one to my attention. A little bit of news on IZEA. So they work on promotional online content technology for online influencers is what they, the terminology that they use. But they made their technology available for Microsoft Teams. So one of Microsoft's products. So the integration now available between IZEA and Microsoft Teams. That was the news, guys. So big spike here from 140 up to 160 for IZEA, guys.
Yeah, I don't know, somehow that makes me not like the short as much there on IZEA. Look, ultimately, it's a nice little setup, and I'm probably going to take a shot here. It did go below that 165, but for now, holding higher than this sort of retracement price at 157 in VWAP. I did mention Beyond Meat in the money now, over $1, but like I said, I'm looking for about $2 on that trade, so it's not that I'm sitting here staring a gift horse in the mouth and not willing to take it. We've already had scalp long trades for that 50 to 60 cent target range, and now I am looking for a bigger hump to the upside here on Beyond Meat. And if we can test this turnaround point, 136.50, that's going to still be my stop area. I got out of MYOS for the fail. We don't have locate, so I couldn't short the 2 even break. I'd be all over that if I could, certainly. If you're holding that long still, I don't like MYOS below that 2. Beyond Meat, certainly working out well, but I am going to now move my stop. I don't want to turn a winning trade into a losing trade, so I'm going to come back to about this 135 area, lock in minimum, like 40 cents worth of profit on this, and hopefully get that $2, which is very, very close to our target.
Yeah, I want to say a big shout out to another member on board right here, Eben Gallos. Thank you so much. And I did see you, Aaron Smith, there. So let's talk about Hecla Mining right now. Thank you for the $2 super chat. You get our opinion for $2. A pretty good deal right there. But first of all, come on, JP Morgan. Let's go, buddy. We're waiting there at 75 to get out of some of our shares. We're long at 66. We need JP Morgan to go up here. This is just a quick little out for us to take this 8, 9, 10 cents quickly, and then we'll wait for more upside, but right now JP Morgan looking to give it to us. Hecla Mining coming through there, obviously a NASDAQ stock, mining industry on absolute fire right now. I like Hecla Mining, maybe not as a day trade, although today up 7.83 million shares. So a good volume day here for Hecla, well above VWAP right here. 655, 650 is a good look on this stock to hold today if it breaks. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. $1.50 back in March. The mining industry is nuts right now. Nothing but upside. 660, 663 for For me, it's well above the 50 period, so you're good to go on that one. Watch out. Obviously, a break back down. Big day today, up 9%. I would just watch for it to give everything back. You have consolidation here at 550, so Byron or whatever, Byron just right now, love you guys. Thank you so much. But for that note there, I would get out of Hecla Mining if you're long, if it does break back through 550 there. But look at this. It's a banger for you. JP Morgan, straight to the upside. We just took some out 90s. How about them apples? Bang, right there. Hot dogs, not apple time. Beautiful trade on JP Morgan. And guess what, guys? We don't even have the futures with us today. Good move here on JP Morgan.
You don't need them if you got the stocks that we're talking about. It's all about what's moving. That's why you tune in. That's why you get the watch list. We talked about Beyond Meat. There's been multiple winning trades here, I think, on Beyond Meat. You catch it off the opening break there. Look, either off of the actual this range here at 132, or you catch a break at 33.50. Or it doesn't really matter. All of those were fantastic. I've been talking about some later breakouts. Just got $2 here. That was my target. I am now flat on Beyond Meat. We'll look for another trade here if it does roll back over towards that 133.50. But money talks, and Brandon's going to talk about it at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, let's go to currency world. It is a little bit of a negative look today for the US dollar. We have some reserve worries coming into play. There's also some global monetary reserve worries. Also the continued negotiations when it comes to COVID-19, more COVID-19 stimulus in the US kind of stalled out a little bit at the end of the day yesterday, and that kind of pushed the US dollar lower. So all of these basically to the upside today. You can see the euro, big move, 0.7% into positive territory, 118 now for the euro. Our Canadian dollar back to 75.5 to the upside, about 0.5% today. The British pound up more than 0.5%, 131.5. Australia, New Zealand down here, big moves as well, 0.8%, 0.5%. You can see just Japanese yen and Swiss franc, as we've noticed over the past few days, kind of grinding back to the downside as volatility is coming off. Bitcoin and Ethereum mentioned at the beginning of the show. This was 11,100 yesterday. We're up to 11,600. So throw up the Canadian dollar here, because we're still kind of flirting with that 75 area. So just watch out 75 on the Canadian dollar. But yeah, nice move for Bitcoin again today, guys. Back to the upside, 3%. Back over to you.
A couple of things to update here as we come back. Kodak reload here. We talked about 1450 as a breakdown. We caught that nice trade out of just about everything at 1390 for a 50-cent win on the biggest lot there. And then on the pullback, short in front of 1450 again. So just got 39s in, not quite 40s. We'll see if we can't hang on to this one for a nice little reversal trade one more time on Kodak. I also want to update Macy's breaks that 650 mark. So I do go long. We take that quick short at 46 and 47. You lose a few cents there. You make it all back. And then hopefully, and then some, as we get some out in front of 660. Next stop will be that 675. Always worth noting. Macy's, if you go to the daily chart here, it is a bit of a tighter range. And then this first level at 680, followed by 7 even, are the two targets that I will be looking for to the upside. But first, it has to get through 660, and then we'll use those two prices to get out the rest of this Macy's long position.
Yeah, I like Macy's, but I do like it normally to the short side.
I know.
I know. We've talked about that, so watch out there. But obviously, there's no problems with Macy's. A good stock there. JP Morgan, we do take that one long. We did talk about that. I talked about this being a scalp, so we did take out the big boy shares there and hit that for a long at 66, and we're taking it out now 25, 30 pennies on this name. And you might think that's not that much, but in the last hour or so, it's only gone about 70 cents or so up and down. So I think we got a good one here. Let's wait to see what happens now. More and more to the downside here for JP Morgan, but we're almost out of everything. We have a little more than half right now. So JP Morgan, a good little look for us. Let's check back in on Disney as well as we go. This stock looking like a good one. We had this early and often. Two longs here on Disney today. Bang this at 125. Bang it, and then out right there, 127. That's a $3 winner. 128 long again. Let's see, man. I think this is probably done now for the day. So we'll look to see if Disney can't get faded back down to the downside. Slack, I see, is right near $30. That's work is the symbol. This one's getting worked as well. A nice move down here, down 2%. I think this could break the bottom. when you're in competition with Microsoft, that often isn't going to go well for you. So we'll see what work wants to do. But here we go. Let's take a little bit more out. And there it is. We do take another out here on JP Morgan, 92s. So another 25-cent win there on JP Morgan, putting that in our pipe and smoking that. We haven't looked at cannabis names today, but they've been hot for a while.
I want to give an apology to Road Life here. Thank you for the super chat there. The stream moves pretty fast there. I did miss this one. You asked about UAVS 336. Look, the way that I will always approach something like this is you have this sort of afternoon range that it put in, breakout through that price. But look at where the bottom does actually hold here. We're able to hold this little low at about 340, 314 here, guys. So you get that pre-market bottom, you get that opening range bottom, and then you get the hold off of the reopen on the halt. That's a good sign for the stock. And so, yeah, I do think it's a good chance you're going to test that high. But I hope you're getting out there. I mean, 340 is a break in and of itself. So as a day trader, I mean, if I was sitting there long, I'd be thinking about taking it out in front of the 340 because I could just take a breakout long at 340. So again, I like that target as a price, 336. I think you're splitting hairs to get it out in the low 330s and 336 for me, but that's just as a scalp trader, my approach to it. Hope that answers your question. Brendan, what do you got, bud?
Yeah, nothing like an intraday offering, right? So UAVS, guys, resumed, but they announced a direct stock offering and warrants. So that was the news there. But you just covered the price action on UAVS. But yeah, an intraday offering, guys.
Yeah, market falling down here, so we get out. We're just been getting out of our JP Morgan. We're super light. That's been a great trade for us. So I don't know. We'll just hit this one because I can't find anything else. Makes no sense. But thank you, Brendan, for that quick update on that name. INO, Inovio Pharmaceuticals, not really doing too much here. INO. I did want to go into some of these vaccine names a little bit here just to see if there was any movement. Come on, chart. $20.33 now for INO, and not much happening on that one. NVAX, of course, Neil, we talked about that. You had this one early on. Again, come on, charts, reload here. Just been scaling itself back to the downside. We said we would wait to see if anything did happen here. It's just been kind of cruising off VWAP now and then breaking down back through 170. So watch out for this bottom spot here. Spread is a little bit better now, 7-8 cents. So I think that's definitely workable here on NVAX to the downside, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the timber action, and why not? I didn't fall out of a tree during camping, but I did get another reload short in Kodak. Like I said, I'm only going to be shorting this name likely. 14.38 was our re-entry price. Just got some out there for a 25-cent little win. I've been net short this entire time since the 14.50 break. If it breaks 14 again, I'll take some more shares out. Look to see if we can hold through that low of the day. If it can hold below this 14.50 for the entirety of the day, I'll likely be net short for most of it. Going to try to reload where I can, but also going to make sure we take profit inside of the range. Kodak is not nearly as volatile as it was the last few sessions and certainly last week. So you want to make sure you're making that coin as it is moving around in a tighter range. But nice little breakdown and retracement, able to catch both ends of that at 450. As far as IZEA goes, I did miss that initial breakdown trade. Their 160, 165 area. It's now retesting that price. So it's going to be a quick little opportunity for me to jump into it, but I'm only giving it to that high of day. I actually didn't feel as confident about this. We actually got to make sure we get some locates there, but 170 would be the break through the top. I would short in front of it with a very tight stop, similar to Macy's, with the idea that you're reversing long at a 170 either way.
Okay, we did. We're now into Beyond Meat a little bit here at the top. It does take out this top side there. We can give it all the way back down to 135 and change. But right now we're long again here on Beyond Meat. So we're going to see if this one wants to go upside again here. It got as high as 138.50. It's now only down that 3%. I did say that I liked the report. That's why we hit it early at 134 and change. But now we're up to 136. So Beyond Meat, a good little name there to go. So right now we're long Beyond Meat and we're long JP Morgan. Two big-time positive stocks for us today. So we'll throw around some money today. It's been a good one. Only one negative stock. Look what we've done today. Beyond Meat, you can see this one, a big, huge stock for us today. Disney, my biggest stock today. That's a win. JP Morgan's a win. We talked about that. There it is right there. Mara, flat. actually on Mara. Microsoft, that's a big win. Right off the open, 215 all the way up. That's 75 cents. Nikola, the other stock we had today, long and bang. That's my second best stock today. SRNE on the board. This is the loser. Downside right here. And I lied, actually. We try to be as honest as we can. Square, we went up and down and around here. So Square is a slight loser for us today. Nothing to cry over, but there are two losers on board today, guys. So there it is. Square and SRNE, the S symbols. Let's watch out for Beyond Meat falling back down here. We'll average into this trade. We'll get out if it does break through 135, though, guys. Beyond Meat.
Yeah, here comes up that 170 on IZEA, guys. So, gonna get some locates, see how it's actually only 1 cent for us to short, so very, very cheap. I'm willing to pay that, but that's not the trade that it looks like is gonna happen. First, it'll be a breakout through 170. If it fails here and turns back downside, I'll probably pick some shares up, shorting at like 165 or so, but it's a 170 breakout that I'm staring right in the face here on IZEA. Any second now, I think we're gonna catch that one. And then from there, we talked about where the stock could go. I just got in here at 72. On this break, and I did mention if we got past this little range, there's not much on the way back up. Of course, it got to 320. That's not happening again today. But $2 would be my initial target to the upside. Hope we can catch a nice little move there. Kodak short Mara. We took half a win there, but it could stop me out on the second half. It's been a sleepy trade, and usually these ones work out well. This retracement, though, remember, of course, it's a Bitcoin play, guys, so it's a little stronger than some of these other ones, but you do have a hard top here at 440 that I'm going to use. We already took half out, getting it down to 420 to win 20 to 25 cents. I'm not sure we're going to get that kind of a win here, as it just broke out on the second half, so you win 20 cents, you lose 10. That's how you got to structure your trades. But 11 o'clock, guys, time for a European update. Let's go to the big screen with Valeria.
Hey guys, welcome to the European update. Europe is in green today on a positive earnings report. Only Switzerland down as little as 0.54%. Russia is leading up 1.65%. Britain is up 0.89%. Germany is up 0.49%. France is up 0.71%. And Spain is up 0.21%. Bank of Ireland surged 10.5%. As it said, it was beginning to see some signs of recovery. That's all with Europe, and I'll keep you updated. Back to traders.
All right, 128 here on a break. Disney making moves now. We go long here, 129.50, big move upside here for Disney on a 3-minute chart, looking pretty good. We'll wait to see if that one wants to print us up or down. Beyond Meat now 30 cents in the money. We'll wait to see, man. I got my targets up here, 137.50 or so. We'll see if Beyond Meat wants to take that level out. If it does, needs to go through 137, then I think we get 138. So let's just wait to see what happens. It was a straight line up when it broke it the first time. We are waiting for 135 to come in. We'll average into this position all the way up. So that's why we're trying to get this thing to go now. We are a nice little position long there. And there goes Disney. A nice little out there 65. We're long at 51 right now. So another 14-cent win there on Disney, scalping it as we go. So Disney, nothing but upside. We do have a video being dropped at 11:55. So if you guys are interested in this one, you'll see what Neil's pointing to here in a second. The top 5 mistakes that traders make. And how you can avoid them. Coming up at 11:55, Valeria will be dropping that link. We're getting very close to having our guest trader of the day as well. And I saw you, I'll take this off. I saw you there, Elizabeth Miller. I'm not going to ignore you. A favored guest of all of ours. You haven't been a guest yet, but she'll be coming on soon. Elizabeth Miller here, $5. Okay, let's look at NBR. Yeah, I know. You've actually, and I got to give a shout out to Elizabeth before we go on, because she's been shouting out Nabor's industry for a very, very long time. Bye-bye, Disney. We shout that out. Bang, another 40 cents there. Let's see how high Disney wants to go up. Good little look there, but let's look at NBR quickly for you. 52. Remember, this was reverse split a couple times all the way back down. This stock is nothing but upside. Wow. On that oil number, look what happens at 10:30. Good little look there, Elizabeth. I hope you had that next Wednesday for sure on oil number. We will look at NBR for sure. But Disney right now, upside, Neil. We just took that that out. Where did we get that out at? Right there, 76. So nice little 20 plus pennies. We'll see if we can get to 130 here on Disney. What a report. $10.55, $10, 10% up. What's up, B?
Another one from the retail group, guys. We were talking about the strength in retailers today. JWN here in Nordstrom, 7%. Just popping up on a volume scanner again through day highs there, 1550. Just got taken out for JWN. Still going, guys.
Yeah, just worth noting, IZEA got a bit of a pullback there at 160, 162 in front of. Use that as a bit of a stop, but I got 69 as an average price in that name. I do want to jump over back to Kodak. I still am in this position. I'm going to reload one more time in front of 1450. My stop is going to be at that break even. So going to forget about VWAP, at least in the short term, but not about that 15 level to the upside if it ever does get back there. I think we're going to stay net short if we can, but of course have to keep in mind the volatility is not going to be there, so most of your money is likely to be made, at least I think here, shorting in front of this 1450 at this lunchtime hour in front of that 14. So like 40, 50 cents worth of scalp range that you can work with. I got my short here at 38. We'll see if we can't get mid-40s next time. I did mention, of course, that IZEA tried to shake people out here to the downside, 165. I got some on the way back up, so 69 is my average price. 175 does seem like not a wall, but a bit of a seller here when you go to the level 2. I'll take some out in front of it just for the 5-cent scalp if we can do it, and then hold for that next level to the upside. Hopefully that'll be $2 at some point. And then the last one, Macy's, breaks out. We get out in front of that 660 range. It rolls all the way back over. It's back to break even, so I'm going to hang on to this one. I will actually go move my stop down to around that break at 650. At this time of day, I don't want it retracing to VWAP, and I'm stuck in the long trade. We've already taken half off for the win. I'm going to throw my stop now to that break even. Long at 51, but call it 50 even, so we'll give up a couple extra cents there. See if we can retest this 660 range, and then 675 the target.
Okay, and we got reloaded here as well. More shares on Disney. Disney, for some reason, very silly, drops all the way down in the 30s there. And look what we did, guys, on a 1-minute chart. Maybe I can zoom this back down here. We picked some up down here at 129.30. So a nice little ripper back to the upside now on Disney. Let's take that reload off. What's up, B?
MasterCard was just double checking here, guys. October, yeah, looks like they've already reported. I thought it was this week, but might have been Visa. Big move for MasterCard here, 3.8%, straight higher. Big stock, $315 here to 326. So recent highs for MA, guys.
Definitely loving some MasterCard right there, but a nice little out happening on Disney. Good out again. We crushed this one. In, out, 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 in again and out again up there. So we're pretty light now, but a nice little line them up. The pins were lined up there on Disney. For some reason, somebody flushed that down there. We take that advantage and take it back upside with the 129.31. We did average into Beyond Meat. Our last bid filled was down here at 136.15. We did talk about that, trying to defend 135 down here. So our average price now 57. If we can get back to 137, we'll take some of this out. But Beyond Meat needs to go a little bit. That's the other position we have. And then JP Morgan right now has been a big win for us. We'll keep that one going to the upside. It does come right back down to where we got in, but I didn't see enough to reload there. So right now we'll wait to see if JP Morgan wants to give us that win upside.
Yeah, all that's happened to me in Nikola here is it's consolidating tighter and tighter, is I'm sort of adjusting where I want to go short. It was 34, then it was 34.20. I'm actually going to give it a shot at 34.50 at this point for a bit of a trade. I'll probably go lighter size than what I liked at 34.20, and that could be a place to add into it if it consolidates below VWAP. But 34.50 now the target for me is Nikola. Feels like it's running out of steam here. You're seeing these consecutive lower highs we put in. Now I'm watching a 34.50 break to the downside. Add to my short position. We got one in Kodak. We're now looking at Nikola as well. It was a short off the open for me. We won on that, but then lost on our second short. And then that breakout long is what it was all about. And I would still, any point in the day, you look at 36 in the face of the break to the upside, you got to be taking that one. So I'll be looking at that and not getting rid of that stop order, regardless of when it happens to come in. But 34.50, the new target short.
Okay, yeah, we're still going downside. I'm just getting some orders out here for various stocks. As you guys can see, Beyond Meat continues that fall down. So that's not a great look there for us on Beyond Meat, but 136.20. My next average price, just to give it to you guys, 135.50. We'll take it one more time down here, see if it holds, and then we'll crush it out at 135. no really skin off our back here on Beyond Meat. We're not putting to risk anything that we did right here. So we shorted, we went long here off the open, then we shorted and we're able to take that profit. Now we're battling along right now in Beyond Meat. I still think we get to 137 here. Although this is not normally my MO, man. On days when stocks are down, we do like to only try to play shorts on these stocks, but I did think that Beyond Meat's quarter was perhaps a little misread there. So let's wait to see what Beyond Meat does. One quarter that wasn't misread apparently was Disney. And all we've done is long. Again, I don't think that this is 10% worth, but we're going to hold the long. If it does come below 129, we'll get out. But this is another win for us. Win, out. We're quick scalping. That's what we do at this time, guys. It's 11:10 right now. Even though the market is now at day's high. What a surprise.
And breaking.
We'll see what it wants to do the rest of the day. JP Morgan hovering around, Disney and Beyond Meat, 3 longs we have on board right now.
Yeah, just sort of worth noting, we are breaking higher on the ES, the NASDAQ, trailing just a little bit here, as I only see it at like 11 at 12 there to the upside. But Brendan's got something for us. We got, but
another one, guys, moving to all-time high territory. This is not the right chart. I'll flip over to Learn, K-12 Incorporated. We're talking about the online education space. This company does a lot of work with schools when it comes to providing some of their content online, which is going to be used coming up this fall. So LRN, big mover from earlier in the week. I was trying to find which day it was. I think it was this day. Poked up to all-time highs, but again, all-time highs today for LRN, guys.
Learn,
okay. List. And I just tried another reload in Kodak, and this is, like I said it one time, I'll say it again, the perils of trying to catch it on the way back down instead of just sitting in front of 1450. I do try to catch this at 1440 on the way back in. I'm now starting to reverse here, but it's going to be a 1450 stop like we've said the entire time here, guys. So no issues with that. You're going to miss some trades here and there when you try to be aggressive, catching it in the direction as opposed to just sort of sitting passively and having it trade through you. It is that time of day, of course, where we like to get our guest trader segment in. And let's go to Brendan for the introductions.
Hey guys, yeah, it is Wednesday, just after 11 Eastern, so that means Guest Trader of the Daytime, sponsored by Lewis Daniels Watches. As we've been mentioning throughout the month of July and August, every single Guest Trader we have coming on the show is going to get one of these, a Lewis Daniels watch. Beautiful watch. Thank you to our sponsor, Lewis Daniels Watches, for those. Hamza Chowdhury joining us today for Guest Trader of the Day. It's been an interesting session so far. Lots of things to look at, lots of individual names. Yeah, guys, let's go ahead and bring in Hamza. There he is. Good morning, Hamza. It's been an interesting day. What have you been looking at?
Hey guys, good morning. Super excited to be here with you today. So I've actually looked at a handful of stocks, mainly today, a lot of small caps. I was looking at ARPO, traded that a little pre-market, and then I did NETE, DOYU. I usually focus on the stocks that are gapping in the pre-market, and then I usually do a daily short on mRNA, one of my favorite shorts probably. So I've probably traded about 5 or 6 stocks, kind of flat for today. It's been sort of an interesting day. I feel like it's been a little slow for myself personally.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of one of those days where you kind of had to pick and choose your spots a little bit, but I love that mRNA to the downside. It seems like every day it gives you at least one shot on the short side. There's a lot of those stocks moving to the downside. Vaccine news again today. Let's get back into it. Let's get back to the markets. Here is Neil and Sean.
Good morning, Hamza. There you go. There's our sponsor, Lewis Daniels Watches. I got my bad boy on. Can't wait to see you get yours. I want to jump right into mRNA here because I like selling some of these called COVID vaccine names on news. This stock seems to give it to you. In addition to the spikes up on positive news, you'll get it when there's some sympathy plays there, NDAX pulling back, you catch some in mRNA. Now, I just want to quickly say, are you looking at sort of like a breakdown type of trade, like a 7650, or just in general catching a short in consolidation after you've seen it move down in the pre-market? Are you looking at a pop, hopefully at some point to get you a better price? What's your approach for getting into a short like this, and what puts it on your radar even without direct news this morning?
So it is by far my favorite stock to short. What I've explained to traders is if you go back to mRNA, and there's sort of like a few things that I look for. Is the first thing is you see what the pre-market high or post-market from the previous day high is, and if you set that as your entry point for a short, 9 times out of 10, you'll be right. And you'll get a 50, I usually go for a 50, 60 cent move at open. So I actually short mRNA always coming into the market. Yesterday, I actually was able to get a point without even having to wait for the market to open. But my rule of thumb is for traders is, find the high of the pre-market, get a good entry, and then set your stop to right above that. So in case the market, does something crazy, which it really doesn't for that stock particularly. And it usually can give you an easy 50 cent, $1 rule. And sometimes it's, $5, $6 flush. And I know that you guys always talk about it. And it's like I said, it's just been one of my favorite. And I tell people, even if you don't know about trading, just following, those simple rules of entry at the pre-market high and stop loss right above that, you could probably win like 90% of the time. So it's treated me pretty nicely.
That's what it's all about. That's why you go back to that well until it's dry. You might as well. I mean, mRNA is not going to be in play forever. This will get figured out, and there'll be some winners in this space and some losers. So make the money while you can. But I do love that little note. A lot of times, I had to drop down one time and do push-ups because with a stop order in a similar style of trade, I didn't give it to pass that pre-market top, which was the strategy I was looking at. And that's a very particular thing. If you have a setup like this, you can't horse around with your target out there in terms of a stop. If that's what your system says to do, you've got to be willing to lose to that. So price accordingly, certainly whether you got it at like 76, 80, or 77, you are, in this case, looking like you're having to give it, to the tightest end stop, if you're looking at about 830, 78. But if you look at the bigger end of the range here in mRNA, that was a buck of $80 there, Sean.
Yeah, we're getting some agreements there.
Real quick, just to clarify, today was actually a little funny day because they did have their earnings pre-market, so I do take that back. It was a little funny today because it had their pre-market. They did have their conference call, so it did kind of look a little different. Usually, it's pretty consolidated coming into open.
All right, we hit that Beyond Meat there. Hey, what's up, Hamza? We hit that Beyond Meat trade there. We go long again, 135.45. Take that trade out, 136. Right now, Beyond Meat, we need an average price at least 136.50 to make some money on here. We're long at 136.14, so we're basically flat now. But I'm still waiting for 137 to come in on this name, and that is, of course, Beyond Meat. Just to give you guys an update, we're trading a little bit of GBTC. That's the Bitcoin ETF here. We look at all these trades. Bang, bang, bang. A lot of these are part fills. There's nothing really happening on it, but I just want to give that little bit of a recap there because Brendan's been on it. Disney, I can't believe we're up to 130 again. We just dumped them right there. We're going to wait to see what happens. Disney's been a big trade for us. We do have these down candles here at 124, so that's just a dark pool. It's making the trade look a little bit more silly than it needs to be. But 130, look for that breakout here happening on Disney. And just to give you guys another recap, 135 is going to be my kill spot right now on Beyond Meat. So we're right now long 136.14. I still think we can get this. Not a great report. You did talk there about mRNA, and now we have here Beyond Meat with a bad report coming through. Other than that, right now I'm not looking for too much else. SRNE, Hamza, do you ever trade anything like this that just goes absolutely crazy? Yesterday, 30% up. Today we started up huge. I thought we could take the breakout again. Silly me. Comes all the way back down. Is a Sorrento Therapeutics something that's often on your radar, or you just more look for and stick to the stocks that you're more familiar with?
Yeah, so I actually did look at it. It is on my watch list today. I've taken trading pretty seriously this year, and I try, one of the things I'm working on is I try not to jump into stocks that I haven't prepared myself for. So if I just saw SRNE right now and I saw that it's flushing, I wouldn't jump into a short. So a lot of times with these the SRNEs, I just did DVAX a couple days ago. A lot of these hype stocks, I mean, they can run and they can move. But I try to, if I do enter the stock, I try to at least get a good entry at the the start of the day, and try not to trade too much after the first hour.
Okay, yeah, good little look there. And that same thing as me. That's why I haven't gotten back in it SRNE yet after the first hour. Just look, stair stepping all the way down. Tough one there. Neil, you still in SRNE? Or you?
No, I got my first short was good, and the second short I literally said in the chat I got shaken out there, I got my ankles broke. Yeah, you see the clip. Remember Allen Iverson on Michael Jordan? He gave him that little crossover, and
Allen Iverson
broke his
is so
life.
dirty.
He was so nasty. He had the best handles ever. But that's what just happened. That's what happened to me on SRNE today. And I'll tell you part of the reason why. When I loaded up here, instead of just taking one entry point, I kind of took some more shares, really liking it, and then I give it to a tighter stop. And it's one of those things that there's no point putting the trade on if you're not willing to give it as much room as it needs. And if you put a bigger position on, maybe you don't give it to that 1450 failure, which I should have done. And if I have a smaller position, then I give it more room. I give it that full range, and then now you're reaping the benefits of that short trade. It's just one of those things that's going to happen to you sometimes. For me, sort of 1 for 2 on the short. It didn't work out the long trade, but I did manage to at least pivot to the short side. But that's a huge miss. Usually I'm all over that kind of a short trade. SRNE, 1 for 2, and it's a very, very small hit, but it looks ridiculous getting out here and then catching a $2 move to the downside just a half an hour later. Brennan.
One that we haven't mentioned yet this morning, guys, another vaccine-related story here. VBI Vaccines picking up $56 million from the Canadian government, 56 million Canadian from the Canadian government for their work on a COVID-19 vaccine. So VBIV, nice little look here, 12.3% to the upside. It's come all the way back and is struggling right now at $5 to get back above 5. But a little bit of volume spike at the open there because of that news, guys.
All right, yeah, always looking for different volume spikes there. Disney breaking back downside right now, so we'll look at that. Look at Mara, guys. This is another stock that we traded today, and just like its partner in crime, Bitcoin, it seems to be making moves to the upside right now as well. Mara, we did take that break at 1440, cashed out all of it, but then did hold a little bit too much for down here. So we're actually flat on Mara today. So even though this was a big move here, we didn't get enough out. Was waiting for that home run on a Bitcoin move, and that just didn't come through. So right now, Mara fading back in. And I don't really have too much else on the look. We did get out of our JP Morgan as that fell back down below 50. Yeah, there it is right now, 97.50. So our out was a good one, 60. We put that money in our pocket. Take it quick time. This right now is HFT hour, Hamza. So we don't put on very many trades. We put on trades, but not as many as we would have if the market had just opened or if there was volume. I think as an experienced trader, I bet you know that kind of a rule where we don't put on too much risk here at this time of day.
You guys give the best advice. I mean, I've become such a better trader. I mean, things like that. It's, you know, you're up. I've been up every day this year except one day where I just full size Novax on a pre-market trade, which I don't know what I was thinking. And you guys give the best advice, which is, you know, pre-market, you can actually win on a lot of trades, but you just don't go full size. And then after, you know, the first hour and the algos start taking over, I can't tell you how many times I've been up. I've been just super excited, having a solid day. And then you're just, you know, you're so excited that you get back in and then you just go, all right, bye-bye profits. Right. So definitely my biggest advice is, you know, take your profits and just run. And there's no reason to re-enter winning trades and turn the greens to reds. I do want to mention to the audience today that I am wearing Dub Nation, go Dubs. Your Raptors, you know, took us out last year, you know, but I do want to say that, you know, we're back and, you know, we will be back. But, you know, if we had to lose to a team, I don't mind losing to a humble team like the Toronto Raptors. You guys deserve it. But I was very upset because for many years, you guys were unable to take out LeBron James, and we had to see the Cleveland Cavaliers every year because the Toronto Raptors just could never accomplish the goal. But just wanted to let you guys know I'm wearing my Dub Nation shirt for the show today.
All right, yeah, we noticed that. We noticed that. But you know what? The Raptors still hitting some swishes there today. And we continue to go, man. Raptor Nation live and well. But shout out to Golden State Warriors. They had their time and may come back soon. But adios, KD. He's now in New Jersey there. So good luck with all of that. And if Klay Thompson is healthy, we know they can rain down on those threes with the Splash Brothers. So good luck there. But don't get us started, Hamza.
You don't want to get me started. The only positive thing I'll say about Golden State is that Michigan State is my college team, so therefore I do give Draymond some love there. He gets himself in the hot water sometimes, but he's a solid little player. We talked about Mara a split second ago, and then not throwing away profits at this time of day. So it's always worth sort of looking at the bigger picture. I think at times, and I'm flat on this stock, and we had a nice breakout trade. I had a short that was successful in the first half, and then we lost in the second half. But just look at this 475 area top. And like the reason why I said 475, you're going to see it fail through to get to this 465 range here. But then the pre-market, it touched 75. This 3 minutes not going to show you that. But go back a couple of sessions ago, and it was a failed break through that same price. So that's why it's exciting for me to look at this pre-market high at 75 and look for a break there on MARA. And I don't mind sitting around waiting all day for that to happen. That's going to be my next trade on MARA, and I might not make any other trade other than a 475 break. When I look at that top, when I look at the fail break a couple of sessions ago, if it can do it this time, could be a nice little winner for us there, guys. So I am looking rather heavily at MARA 475 break. Brendan, what do you got?
Today, guys, Fiverr, FVRR, nice 15% move. Really hasn't done anything intraday, but huge gap to the upside, kind of holding between 124 on the top, 118 here. We're in the middle of the range right now, but they reported better than expected earnings as well. They have an online marketplace, FVRR, guys.
All right, I want to give a big shout out. What up, Callaway? Just waking up. Hey, I know you're on the West Coast, Callaway Jones, but it's 11:24. It must have been a busy night for you. You're always on the show, so what up? And he gives a big shout out to you too, Neil. Welcome back from Callaway Jones there, so thank you so much for that, our friend. We can get Callaway back on as a guest trader as well. Hamza, you're doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for your basketball talk there. Neil and I sometimes need to get unfocused on the market, and we like that talk. So that is definitely a good one there. Yeah, Mara, SRNE. Actually, Neil, we just talked about SRNE a couple seconds ago and why we didn't like it. But now it's making that move back upside, guys. Remember, the biggest advice, and again, I thank Hamza for this as well. The biggest advice is do not overtrade your account. Do not overtrade your book. And so I think that's why we did miss that SRNE. Sorry, Neil, did I interrupt something there?
No. I was just saying, SRNE is going to sort of get me back into looking at it. But I do actually want to jump quickly to Beyond Meat. It rolled over. We talked about 137 being a potential target. Touched that, turning right around here. I'd watch out for this 135.40 range to the downside. If it does break, I think you have a shot at retesting VWAP. It's only been long for me on Beyond Meat, but inside of this range, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. But a breakdown of right here, 135.40, could give you a bit of a scalp trade into VWAP.
Yeah, that's our kill spot right here on Beyond Meat, 135. It did get going there. We were back into the money. We did talk about that on the show when we had it. But right now, yeah, Beyond Meat looks like we'll be giving back some of these profits here. And again, it just goes to time of day right now. It's not a great one to be making on some big trades. So we'll wait to see on Beyond Meat if that one does go. Hamza, any names right now that you're looking at that perhaps we haven't covered today? Or even if we have, any sort of setups that you want us to look at or that is drawing interest from your eye right now?
So the stock that everyone was talking about last week that I'm still watching has been Kodak. I actually had that. My first entry on that, believe it or not, was $4.45. And boy, was that something I wish I held on to. Just curious your thoughts on the Kodak play now that there's an investigation and obviously it's been in play for about seven days now. What you guys are thinking about it? Are you thinking it's just going to flush back down to its original, or you think it's going to kind of hang tight in where it's at?
I actually just got out of my Kodak position. I've been I look for one breakdown on Kodak usually every day, and it gave me that 1450. I played that level several times. The third time is not going to be the charm. Usually the first time through on a key break is going to be your best play, but I'll revisit it on a stock like Kodak. Now that it's broken up, I actually messed up my math and reversed into an accidental long position that I'm not going to hang on to. Yes, 1450 is a good break, and sure, I could have had a 30-cent winner, but I never intended to go long reversal, so quickly took it out. Thankfully, I managed to make some spread there as opposed to pay it, but look, you get a trade you don't want, you just take it right off. I'm going to be looking to fade it. We did talk about $15 earlier on, thinking that would be the level. So, if we can hold below that, maybe it's going to give you a trade. I'm not going to force it here at lunchtime. Oh, shoot, I should update. I actually did get in Beyond Meat. They talked about that 135.40 area. I did get in. And as I say it, I'm like, whoa, why am I not taking out a 50-cent win at lunchtime on a breakdown trade? Looking for VWAP as the target. That would give me a $1 win. We're going to take 50 cents there. Just a little bit better than that. So we'll call it 70 cents. Just under 70 cents on the first half. Get a bit lucky there. Normally I'd take 50 there. And the second half, we'll get out in front of VWAP. Again, Look, I talked about it maybe reversing at 137. You saw the failure through that price right at the open, and that's why it was a target to the upside. Gives you consolidation range. This is a scalp trade all the way. This is not me shorting 135.40 and then thinking I'm going to hold this for the rest of the day and beyond me. It's just a very quick trade at lunchtime that you can put on there. You don't want to throw away your profits from the morning thinking everything is going to be a gigantic retracement or a gigantic breakout at 11:30. You get into a lot of trouble. You can still trade this time. Just make sure you have some rules there. Hamza, just a quick question for you. I know a lot of times I'll ask traders whether they have a special, I don't know, like I see some people put sticky notes up or they keep it logs in their journal. When it comes to something like not throwing away your profits, is there a particular sort of hitch or niche or maybe even a tactic that you have to make sure you don't do it, whether you put a note up there or you have a target you like to hit and then alarm bells go off when you're up that much, or an alarm at a time of day?
Yeah, that has to be the toughest thing to do. I can't tell you how many times up green, having a great day, and the problem is you leave the computer on. You stay in front of your desk. So the key for me specifically to not throw away my profits is literally to walk away. Go for a jog. I'm actually I have a full-time practice. I run a structural engineering and construction practice here in the Bay Area, and switching to my real job and literally just turning off the charts, because if the charts are on, I'm going to be peeking, I'm going to be curious, I'm going to be listening to Charlie on Benzinga Squawk, and you're going to hear some opportunity pop up and you're going to jump in, and it's always going to be a moving train that just knocks you right back down, and then you're like, why did I do that? So the last mistake that I made was probably last week, right before AMD's earnings, and jumping down a short thinking it was overextended, and boy, did it run me over. And I said bye-bye profits pretty quickly.
You know what? I love that. Sometimes it is as simple as just walk away. I've told guys, if you have to if you're trading all day long, you're going to be back for the close, or you don't want to completely step away, just go for a nice little walk, enjoy the weather, grab a coffee if you have to, whatever works for you. It's good that you sort of go to the real job, the other job there, and sort of have that as a bit of a crutch, but it's whatever works for you. It's not necessarily one size fits all. And wow, thank goodness we took out half of Beyond Meat for profit, because this other half is right back to break even. I said it would be a scalp trade. I did think we'd get a little bit more of a leg to the downside. I can go ahead, probably throw that order away. Look, I'm not going to allow this one to go too much further than this. It did just come up there and touch a few cents out of the money. I'll probably go ahead and say if it rolls back below this 135, I throw a break-even stop on this trade and just see if I can't get the same 60, 70 cent win that we had the first time. It would have been nice if it got to VWAP, but again, you can't hit home runs always at this time of day. It was a good price break. Maybe I should have taken it all out for a 70 cent win, given it's close to lunchtime, but we'll see if we can lock in at least 40 to 50 cents on this trade.
Why did my Nicola not go out yet? 34.40. What are we at? Okay, Nicola, very, very close. That's what I want to look at here. I thought maybe we would get short, but yeah, no, it did not. I thought it broke VWAP there. It did not. I was looking at another stock. So 34.40 here. That's where Nicola is. It's just bouncing around. Look, guys, I mean, Neil and I have talked about this today a little bit, probably not too much. We've traded it. It's number 2 stock on my board right now next to Disney. So we'll watch that JP Morgan there as well. But 34.40 coming through here on Nicola VWAP. So watch out for this one. It's kind of just doing nothing. So we won't put on a maximum trade or anything here at this time of day, but I do like a breakdown, probably at least to 33, 34 even. So we'll look to see if we can take 30 or 40 cents. We lower our expectations with this time of day right now. So other than that, man, I mean, we can always check on our friend Peloton, Neil. That's another name that just continues to make.
I don't want to say, like, it's been a moving target for me on Nicola, and I know that when this happens where I have a short level that I like, and then I go from saying I want 34 short to 34.20 to 34.50 now, for me that certainly means, and also lunchtime, you take a few less shares because it's not your perfect price. Before I throw it to Brendan, I just want to say, I see you, Callaway, promoting the new single. Well, I ain't heard it yet, so just fire that link so I can see it. I'd love to check it out there and give it a bit of a listen there. But Brendan, what do you got?
Just checking out Boeing here, guys. A little bit of volume coming into Boeing. We went from 169 all the way up to 171. Yeah, big time buyers coming into BA at the moment, guys.
And another note there I want to mention is we look at our sponsor, Lewis Daniels Watches, of course, Callaway getting one as a guest trader. And, of course, Hamza, you're going to be getting that fine watch hopefully sometime soon in the mail. Callaway, you better have Sean and I in a verse and Brendan in your track there. That'd be nice. Angels and Demons, whatever it's called. You can fit Trader TV into a verse or make a song about us. That, I think, would be very, very interesting. A couple bangs, hopefully, there. So for me, I'm short beyond meat here. It's back to break even or so. I'm just going to stick a 135.50 stop on the second half here. I don't want to dig in too deep when the longs were so good on this one. Already made some money on the one short we've taken. It's just going to be Nikola probably or bust for me till the end of the show here. That 34.50 does look like a good breakdown price. You know, I don't necessarily think it's going to be a home run in this short, but it's just one of those nice risk-to-reward ideas. 35 up here, you have a bit of an out if it does retrace on you immediately. Otherwise, let's see if we can't get a quick, 50 cent to a dollar scalp, because 34 was a level that we were watching, and that was our breakout price upside. I would watch out for that level to the downside, but any second now, I do think we're going to get this Nikola entry at 11:35. Maybe not the best time of day, but have an idea where you want your out to be, how many shares you want to use. Not a big buyer here, but enough of a buyer that it will chew through some bids here and trigger some stops, and hopefully we'll take advantage of those. When it comes to entry points there, Hamza, are you mainly just one of those technical, I look at pre-market highs and lows, or do you sort of put yourself in the mind of the opposing side traders? Hey, where are some of the longs maybe putting their stop orders? Can I take advantage of that as a day trader? Do you just stick to your levels in the chart, or do you ever try to get in the head of the opposing side?
Oh, Neil, I mean, that's exactly what I do is just, there's so many factors that go into trading. And, the pre-market is, you really have to pay attention to price action, and there's a lot of manipulation that takes place, and there's a lot of hype. My biggest loser today actually was IMV. The Canadian government sponsored, gave some money to a company, and apparently that wasn't enough to keep that stock up at the $9. I actually got in, my average was $5.50. I think I sold it at $5.56 for my biggest loser today. And again, it comes down to, you got the manipulations in the pre-market, so you have to go small size, and you have to watch just the price action at open. And really, look at, I have some basic indicators. Obviously, the VWAP is probably the most important one, but the RSI I use with the VWAP. And the more of these technical indicators that you can line up, and, the more safer your trade is. And I think that helps me a lot sort of be consistent with being profitable, is just having a lot of these indicators line up before I take a trade. A lot of times, the price action is extremely fast and you don't really have time, so you have to use your judgment. And that's where, putting in a decent stop loss is always important, just so you can minimize your risk. And, I've had 2 or 3 losers today, and it's like, I've had one other loser today, and it was like $11 on NETE. So it's all because of, putting these stops in, especially with the volatile stocks where they'll move, 10, 15, 20 cents in seconds. You got to really protect yourself so that, when they're swinging, you're ready to protect your capital.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Well, when it comes to protecting capital, I did mention here, I'm going to get out of Beyond Meat. I think, look, honestly, a chance to get out, basically break even on the second half. I probably messed around thinking I was going to get a bigger retrace. I did want VWAP at 134 on that 35.40 break. I'll have to be happy that we did take 75 cents on the first little half, but I did finally get into Nikola there. So,
yeah.
Out flat on the second half of Beyond Meat. The long has been good, the short just good as well. And Nikola with the 34.50 break. So I said it might be that and done for me. It's back below VWAP here. We'll see if we can't run this trade down to 34 even. If it breaks 34, I'll try to hang on to maybe just a third of it for a bigger move to the downside. Nikola, good break long. Now the short, hopefully working out for me here at least through 34.50.
Yeah, same thing here. We're waiting for Nikola to break downside. I mean, we're already short now, same as you, Neil. Exact same position. So let's wait to see. Well, I'm at 40. What do you have on it?
I got slipped to 35.
Okay,
Thank you very much. You must have used speaking of orders, routing key is a big one there, and we might have used a different one. Of course, there's many gateways you can look at a level 2 here, some NASDAQ, ARCA, BATS, and a lot of times it can make a difference with your execution. For us, we have direct market access. For those of you who don't, that's what we sort of mean by we'll get triggered maybe at the same price, but you can actually get a better entry or a worse entry depending on which gateways you're targeting there.
True.
So definitely worth looking at what I used. I used a NASDAQ scan today on that one. But Brendan, what do you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, you just saw that headline I threw up there, guys, on Boeing. No need, they say no need to raise additional liquidity via debt raise. So looks like financially Boeing doing a little bit better maybe than expected, guys.
Okay. That's good. I saw Boeing just rip up to the upside there. I was trying to find some levels, Brandon, and if you can see any on your charts, let me know, because right now I'm not really 171, 171.20. I mean, I don't know if we play the breakout or not. Boeing's still in big time trouble, in my opinion, obviously, as COVID. I mean, I don't know how many waves there's going to be, but until Boeing gets the okay on the 737 as well, that's still grounded. So there's some problems there, but I get it. There's good news coming with Boeing. Boeing stock here on a daily. This is why I couldn't really find any levels. We're still well below 180 here, which is the kind of the level that we need to take before we're back above this consolidation. So the ultimate bottom of 90 on Boeing, but we did have a breakout possibility. Just needs to get above 180 before I'm interested in this.
Yeah, exactly. I think I was just looking at it myself, and I couldn't really find anything that I could dig into in the sort of short term here. But as far as NVAX goes, however, a bit of a roll here at VWAP. 182 has held a couple of times, and now 180. Looks like we're going to get another shot to short this stock. Well, maybe before the end of the show. I can't guarantee that, but if I can catch something a little tighter to this 180 mark, I think that would give me the reentry that I would like. Sort of, you look at this level here, 181 time. That was my original short trade that worked out, so it was a price I already had as a target. So if we can catch something around there into lunch, give it to VWAP, I'd like that setup a little bit better, but I'm not going to chase this one $2 down. Brendan, what do you got?
I mentioned that VBI vaccines earlier, guys, teaming up, or not teaming up, but doing a deal with the country of Canada as far as a vaccine goes. So they it was $56 million for work on vaccine. They also, Canada has also come to an agreement with Pfizer and Moderna for their experimental vaccines. So Canada feeling a little deal happy, I guess, today, guys.
Well, I mean, we got to get our love, too. I mean, look, you want to make sure, and this is what everyone's doing, is you get multiple plays at this vaccine, and as a nation, they sort of have the responsibility to make sure that regardless of who wins, you get a piece of it. Now, Pfizer, I've said this a million times, Pfizer is one of those stocks that you want to make sure has a catalyst when you're trading it. Yeah, there was probably a bit of a play here, and you saw this play out in several of these vaccine names where there was that sell-off. NVAX had one, Moderna had one, and it looks like Pfizer basically the same thing. The only thing I would note here is it looks like a 38.50 opening price, opening range, sort of lower high, and then we're trying to fade in front of that as well. So I would look out for that price in the afternoon. It's a positive to negative type of story. I'm not necessarily going to be trading Pfizer without a catalyst. I'd much rather be looking at NVAX here if I can catch something closer to a 180, and just be particular about the trades. And we got this Nikola trade on. I think this is going to be a solid opportunity here where if we can hold this rollover, test 34, maybe break down and give you 50, and then $1 to the downside trade. You don't have to hit a home run with this trade, but certainly a single or a double works too. When it comes to sort of an overall strategy, Hamza, is there an upper bound that you have when it comes to either number of positions you'll have on at once, or even just the number of stocks that make it into like your daily watch list? Or do you sort of say to yourself, I try to have as many of my setups as I can possibly have regardless of the number?
Yeah, I actually try to, I'll usually get into maybe like 2 or 3 stocks on the pre-market, and I find that I get myself probably on average between 5 and 6 every day. If you're shorting, sort of these gappers and the overextended moves, I find just focusing on 1 or 2 should be enough. Again, kind of going back to what I was saying with the open of the market, is that's when really a lot of these moves sort of sell off, and you get the majority, the sort of big move. And then what I found, and something I've worked on personally is, then you want to get back in and you want to reshort on the pops, and sometimes the algos start taking over. So a lot of times I like to do maybe 2 or 3 in pre-market. And then while the market's open, either continue play those or add a couple, but I usually don't do more than 5 or 6 on average. I've had days where I've done maybe as low as 3. I've had days I've done as much as 10. As an average trader, it's just really difficult to pay attention to all of these. Just curious from your guys' perspective, do you guys actually have sort of stops on all the trades that you get in, or how do you manage to juggle, let's just say a half a dozen or so, whatever trades that you're doing? I know we talked about how you guys, talk on the screen, and I kind of asked, a lot of times traders were talking in our heads and not out loud, which I find talking and sort of finding the logic in the trade could possibly help just talking through it. But just curious how you guys manage to run and do all these sort of different trades and run a show at the same time, and still be able to sort of keep it all together.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is sort of new. I mean, well, we've been doing this internally for a while, and in YouTube now since the last, I think, like 4 or 5 months now. But one of the things they have to use are stop orders. Look, there's just simply no way to manage. At times it can be like 5, 6. I might trade 10 or 11 stocks in total, but at the same time, I'll probably never have more than 4 or 5 on at the same time. And yeah, you got to use stops. And I think that's one of the things that I find I'm overly reliant on. There are situations where I would much prefer to have an area stop and be watching the stock as it trades through a price range. I'll use SRNE as an example today because I like some of these gap retracement shorts where you can basically be in the trade all day long if you're in a good short position, and maybe you can take reloads if you want. But I got shaken out of this one for multiple reasons. One, maybe too much position size, but two, because I don't know that a hard stop was a good idea unless it was going to be at 1450 on my secondary short. And because I didn't want to give it to that 1450, rather than allow it to test the area that I was going to use, and then sort of watch the price action, it ends up only wicking up through, stopping me out and then coming right back down. I had to use a hard stop there because it's 9:45, 9:50 in the morning, and I have multiple positions on, so I'm going to put a hard stop in. But that's a situation where it's not even the best idea. And to your point of, if you got one of these on, certainly 1 or 2 of these types of plays, a gap retracement, if you're going to be shorting it, might be all you need. And I can sort of concur there because I feel like if I had only been trading SRNE today, there's a really good chance I'm still short, not getting it all out or not getting any out on that break, and certainly getting more back in here when it tests 14 again, and then rolling that throughout the entire day. It is what it is, certainly to each their own. But if you are only shorting something like an SRNE, you have to find a way to still be in that trade by maybe having only a hard stop at the top or area stops, which I like as a concept. If you're watching a level 2, watching that tape, you can get a good idea as it goes into a price range where the buying and the selling is, if you're short, of course, where the buying is slowing down and you can take advantage.
All right, we did get into some Boeing here on that break. It does rip up nicely for us, up to 171.50. We're still in it right now. Long Boeing, 171.33. Let's see how high this wants to go. I was waiting up here near 60.70, the high of the day. Boeing getting going now. A nice little win here. 20 cents, so we rained down the money. It's not a big trade, but here we go. Boeing to the upside. We'll see if we can get some out. And then we get it. Bang! We get Boeing out right there. Nice little 40-cent win right there as we go. Boeing, adios, amigos. We are still long right here, 171.30, and making some upside moves. That's about that time right now that we got to do something that we love to do, and it is, without any further ado, it is fruit salad time, and we do it on a good note here as we have a very nice win on Boeing. So let's celebrate it now with some fruit salad as we go here. Today's fruit salad, Hamza, brought to you by the word variety, because there's a wide variety, including watermelon in here. Shout out to Arun's favorite, also watermelon. Don't say anything, Neil. But Hamza, as we go, what is your favorite fruit? And I hope you're able to enjoy some healthy fruit salad today as well.
I came prepared for Hydration Nation, but not for the fruit cup today. But yes.
Then we will do some
pineapple.
Hydration Nation there. I'm going to hit this for you. And then let me know, how long have you been trying to drink a gallon or so of water, and how has that been for you, health-wise or energy-wise?
So I've been drinking, water consistently, cups a day for years now. Definitely prefer it over some sugary sodas. My favorite fruit is pineapple. I'm a big pineapple guy. I love pina coladas. I'm definitely a pineapple person, and I feel so much better and just healthier, when you're just sort of hydrating with water and you're eating sort of natural sugar fruits rather than just sort of all this, this fake stuff. And speaking of fake stuff, just to change the topic here, have you guys actually had the Beyond Meats before? I actually just had my first Beyond Meat a couple weeks ago at my brother's house, and it was actually really, really good.
Yeah, we had it. My wife had it last night, actually.
We did it like a week after.
I threw down the Angus, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, I don't know. We tried it. I think we had a bunch.
I love
here
you, my wife. But
on the floor. We had the Beyond Meat burger. Look, it's.
Oh yeah, there's pictures of us.
It's okay. I think we had a picture somewhere. I don't know.
No, I think just of me, Neil. I don't think you want to take it, but I think we'll have to look back and find it. If it's both of us,
it's tasty, but
we'll
I don't know. I don't know. It's for me. I prefer the real thing. We're about the grill and go for the Angus, like you said there, Sean. But it is solid. We have had it before. Obviously, you're seeing a big sea change in the entire space, and that's probably going to be long lasting for a lot of reasons. Not going anywhere, and it'll probably only improve. I know we only have about 10 minutes to go. I did want to mention I've been talking about that one level on Mara. 475. It just turned around on a dime at that price about 20 minutes ago, starting to head back up. So do watch out for that break. The more it bounces off of it, the more I'm going to like it. 475, good on a couple of levels there. I believe Brendan has something. What do you got there, bud?
Just watching Twitter, guys. Not much of a reaction to this, but yeah, we're holding above 37 here. 2% still for Twitter. A headline just out, just saying basically they have no evidence that the hack that happened a week or so ago had anything to do with any kind of vulnerability in their software or their back end, but they are saying Android users specifically will be asked to update the app that they are using. A little headline though for Twitter, guys.
Shout out to Android users, I guess. That's a me. So I guess I'll have to be updating my Twitter.
You and I both.
Sorry, go on. Yeah, Nicola, actually out of Nicola right there. We captured some profit. So basically, it's a flat trade, believe it or not. Out some 20s here. So that's about 20 cents. And then out again, 65 there on the move up. So short 40, out 65. I guess it's a slight loser on what's left. But what is not a loser right now? And if I can find that little plane action, let's just do this to the moon. Who cares? I know Boeing. Actually, Boeing does have some space exposure as well. So Boeing straight to the upside right now. Nice little trade off that breakout. There it is, guys, 172.20. If we can get that, that's about $1 win right here on Boeing. So let's take that off right now as it bounces around 170. I did want to let all our viewers know, Hums, I don't know. There it is, 6,000. So we're smoking right now on Twitter. We break through 6,000. Thank you so much for all of that there, guys. We talked about crushing Disney. We talked about everything else. Follow me here on Twitter, at TraderTV Sean. I'm going to post this up right now. And again, why do we do this? It's just about education. I know you mentioned that, Hamza, learning a lot of stuff from us, and we really appreciate those kind words. But trade breakouts, wait for that to happen middle of the day, and here goes another winner here on Boeing to the upside. So once again, guys, a great trade as we punch Boeing in the face.
Absolutely, and with only 10 minutes, guys, yes, Kodak is above $15. I will not be buying it. But for those of you that are interested, it tried to break through, turned around right here, the first lower high that it put in off of the opening range, right at 947. This is almost exactly where it did turn around. So trying to hold that same level, even if you break out there, you're looking at high of day about 30, 40 cents. In front of that. I'm going to be looking to see if we can actually hold the lower end of this range and then retake 15 to the downside because I'm only going short in Kodak, and that's been the play for me, regardless of what it might be. Mara as well, 475. It's held for now, so unfortunately, as much as I like that breakout trade, if we break down below, say, like VWAP here, there's a good chance that could be kaput. If we do get a break of 410 to the downside, I might actually look at that short at some point. But MARA, I'm just going to wait for the setup that we like. It might be 410 in the afternoon short, but 475 remains the only level that I'm heavily interested in, guys. So it's going to be all over MARA. We've been waiting for that one. Had a couple of good trades in it. I do think the 475 looks like it might be a best of the bunch. And obviously, we know you get to the other job there, Hamza, so you sort of conclude your trading at a certain time each day. When it comes to sort of preparation for the following days, of course, at this time, we look at things like earnings and whatnot. And I didn't ask you this question, but how big a part is earnings season in your strategy? Is it something that, okay, earnings season rolls around and then suddenly that's the majority of your trades or in-name plays because of earnings? Or is it just something that gets thrown in there from time to time and isn't necessarily a catalyst for you?
Yeah, so I've been really serious about trading for about 12 years. I've been trading and really serious with COVID. And part of that is, still trying to find your style and how you like to trade, what you like to trade, what you don't like to trade. And, the earnings season started after COVID started, in April for the first quarter. And, I traded some and you obviously can do quite a lot. with the earnings plays. But for some reason over the last few months and kind of developing my strategy and what I like, what I don't like, and I realize I'm playing a little more of the volatile stocks. And with the earnings, going back to sort of mRNA, a lot of times you don't quite know which direction these stocks are going to move. So going back to my AMD example from last week, if you sort of go into it, trading or owning one of these stocks, going into a conference call, to me at least, with my strategy, it feels like sort of jumping in front of a moving train. And what you really want to do is see the reaction of those earnings. So I haven't played a whole lot of the earnings calls, and it's not necessarily something I'm not interested in. But I would say, if I were to get involved, I would definitely recommend waiting for the call to be over and then kind of seeing how the market reacts, and not maybe getting too involved with the post and the pre-market with the earning calls, because they can just, the spread is just too big. So it's definitely something that, is in play right now. And I felt like at least the market just seems like it was just sort of slowing down. There weren't a lot of gappers today, or at least there weren't gappers that held up really well like there have been in the past few weeks.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I mean, I prefer when companies report aftermarket. I think it's just an easier trade because you'll get the call in the evening many times, and you can digest that overnight, come in with a plan in the morning, as opposed to famously, when we were doing the show, it wasn't on YouTube, it was before when it was an internal show. I've been caught trading stock in the morning post earnings thinking I had a good read on, and then the call was going on, and it was on for like 10 minutes and everything, or 15 minutes, and it was fine. And then you just get one thing said wrong. It's just not worth it, I find, unless you're ear to the ground knowing exactly what you're listening for. Otherwise, I would just usually stay away while the call's happening. So I'll second that for sure. Before we get out of here, I think Brendan's got another note for us here.
Yeah, one to watch maybe this afternoon, guys. Century Aluminum here, reporting aftermarket, looks like tonight. Big mover so far today to the upside, 12%. This thing's been on a tear 4 days in a row now to the upside, but just popping up to day highs here. CENX, C-E-N-X, guys.
All right, yeah, only 5 minutes to go. Thank you so much, Hamza. It's been a great little learning opportunity, I think, for a lot of our viewers. So shout out to you for that one, and thank you so much. And thanks for the Hydration Nation shout out as well. And of course, the fruit salad. Okay, Boeing, we did get out there. Hold on a second, that's beyond me. Let's go up to Boeing here quickly. Boeing, we did get out at 172. It does march up to 173. So I just want to let everybody know, watch out here. Boeing seems to be heated. Needless to say, going upside there. And I want to give a big shout out also to Brendan for giving me the news there on Boeing and enough courage to get in. Not courage is the wrong word, but we got in there 171 on that break. And again, just goes to show you why you do need some valuable resources behind you. And we do have one there. So thank you to Brendan. But with only 5 minutes to go, we do have earnings coming up soon. There's a big earnings day tomorrow again, and then followed by our gem of a segment where we talk about what special day it is. And we'll get your opinion on that when it comes through, Hamza. But any last words for any of our viewers possibly here, as we only have a couple more minutes, Hamza?
Yeah, so I would tell you guys a lot of times, you guys mentioned direct access routing, and for some of us, that don't trade professionally, it sounds like something you just sort of hear, but you don't really understand. So just so everyone knows, I was actually with Thinkorswim for about 12 years. And one thing I consistently realized and knew, especially when they took out their commissions, is, how are these guys making money? And they're making money by not giving you essentially the best fills and doing what's sort of best for them. So when you guys talk about direct access marketing, everyone who's watching, don't take that lightly. I actually just switched brokers after 12 years at Thinkorswim back in June to Lightspeed, which has been day and night when it comes to fills. Now, I am paying a commission per trade, but if you're constantly either losing or you're getting bad fills, you'll find that, trading each trade, you can essentially make that, in multiples. So my biggest, sort of encouragement to everyone is don't be afraid to change and do your research on who you're doing business with. And like I said, direct access will definitely be night and day change if you're using something like a free commission broker.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point. And the names that we're talking about trading too that are in play, doing tremendous amounts of volume, sometimes with bigger spreads if you're looking like a Beyond Meat or just where the scalping matters a couple of pennies here or there, if it even is in something like a Kodak. So that's an important point. I'm glad you reinforced that. We try to say it over and over on the show when it does matter in some of our trades. But like we said before we get out of here, I see another busy earnings board. We need to get to Brendan.
Yeah, just seeing a little IPO as well. Well, it's not terribly little, guys. 703 million. Rackspace Technologies, RXT, on the NASDAQ. Hasn't opened yet, but one to look at possibly. Looks like it's still, hasn't opened yet for RXT, but that's supposed to be happening. Yeah, let's get to earnings coming up after market today and before the open tomorrow. Still lots and lots, and I mean, lots on this board again today. Some drug makers up there. Look, some Canadian content on there as well, guys.
Yeah, Brendan, did you mean lots?
Lots, yeah.
Okay.
You must mean Manulife with the Canadian. Well, I don't know. Like there's a few things. Like Brookfield, baby, Canadian Tire, Hilton. Like it's not
restaurant brands.
It's not gigantic in terms of sort of the names that we're normally trading. I would probably stick out there and say Norwegian is going to be the one that I'm watching there. I know I didn't trade the CCL today. I know, Sean, you mentioned it, but certainly that entire space usually pretty good to us on the show. So Norwegian definitely is going to stick out for me.
Yeah, Western Digital also with what's happening in some of that space. Obviously, we see AMD and some of the semis going crazy. Bristol Myers looks like a good one. Any opinion, Hamza, anything on here that you've maybe traded before or have some experience with? I don't know, anything on there that piques your interest?
I don't.
All right, let's go with it now.
That's a lot of companies.
Yeah, it's a lot of companies there. Let's go with another one that I'm seeing on there, BCE. Watch out for that one. Bell Canada, similar to a Verizon type deal over there on the U.S. So watch out for that. ES now coming back in here a little bit, guys. That's about it. Yeah. So
we do have one thing, but it's going to be a bit of a shift. I think I'm not going to spoil it for you. We need to get to Valeria in just a quick little second here, but it's going to be a little bit different than normal. Hamza, from myself and the entire team here, I want to thank you for coming on. We have traders of every single ilk, whether they're starting out or have decades of experience and everything in between. So it's good to see you on the latter end of that, sharing some of your knowledge. And I think you made a lot of fantastic points that I hope are going to resonate with our audience here in terms of how to develop a strategy, how to stick to your plan, and how to make sure you keep some of those profits. So I want to thank you for coming on the show. Enjoy your Lewis Daniels watch, of course, when it does come, but it is time to get to Valeria before we get out of here.
Hey Hamza, thank you very much for joining us today. I wish you all the luck with your tradings. And guys, you can join us also. Please send your request to Marketing and Trader TV Live. We'll welcome all the new members and new subscribers, guys. We love our trading family. And I know that we're just like 10 likes away from 1,000 likes. So please, if you didn't like this video yet, hit the like button right now. And guys, join our live educational recording today. The link I'm sending on the chat. Open it in a new tab and tune in at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Remember that investment in yourself is all what matters. And watch our next educational video, and we see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So guys, today no national day, as all what we want to do is to send our love and prayers to the beautiful Lebanese city, Beirut. Beirut, we love you and we are with you.
All right, no National Day, and for good reason there. Thank you so much, Valeria, for that. Yeah, that was unbelievable, and we wish all the families and anybody that has family over in Beirut safe. That was nasty to see that explosion, so thank you to Valeria for that one. I think it's an important point. Also, guys, we do have that educational segment coming up at 1 p.m. Watch us live. We'll run and get our food and come right back for you guys live.
Yeah, and that food does smell good. And obviously, it's one of those things where we don't talk too much about politics here, but this is more about the human cost, and I think that's why we stay away from that National Day and talk about something important. So shout out to all of the families. Our thoughts are definitely with those that are affected by this. Hamza, like I said, you've done a fantastic job. We've definitely enjoyed having you on here. Enjoy your Lewis Daniels watch, but it is time to go down the line. It's past noon here, so I'll start, of course, with Valeria doing a fantastic job as always. Give us the heart. There it is. We got in both the fruit salad and the Hydration Nation, and assist to Hamza for reminding you there, Sean, because we didn't get it in until he did note that he was prepared for Hydration Nation today.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it once before, but yes, thank you, Hamza, for sure. Hydration Nation and fruit salad. I actually didn't even get to fruit salad, and there is some pineapple in here, Hamza, so once again, thank you so much for coming on board, and guys, we'll be back in under an hour.
Yeah, under an hour. Of course, Brendan getting us that Boeing News Live, and of course, he gives us much, much more than that, doing a fantastic job as always.
Yeah, under an hour, guys. We're back. Don't go anywhere because we got to go eat.
You better believe it, guys. We will be right back. I am Neil Roberts, as always. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Bye, Hamza. Thank you.